Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Due Process League Winter, I believe it's finals, right? Winter
Yes,
finals?
sir.
Winter Open finals here. We have Global Breakout versus LCG, I believe, correct?
Yakuza.
Yakuza, my bad. I'm totally lost on that one. I am totally lost.
I was supposed
Yakuza
to say,
versus
wait, did something
I
happen? I
forgot.
thought I just casted them.
Yeah, I'm about
Wait.
to say, wait, I'm wrong in that. Aren't I? LCG versus Yakuza on our finals. This is a best of five or best of three?
Oh,
Best of three. Oh,
3, I
best of five be
believe.
cool, actually. Yeah, best of three. Okay, best of
Would
three.
be it
Cool.
would be nice. That would be some great due
That's what I
processes, no
thought.
doubt.
Great. It'd be a finals, maybe a best of five. But hey, I'm wrong. It'd be cool if it was though, but it's not, unfortunately. Just a normal best of three between these teams. It's me. It's Ghost. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, fortunately, Pion said, "Hey, Ghost, you've been doing some great things. You did that, third place game for us. Let's have you on the finals as well."
Yeah, no, and I really appreciate it. Again, shout outs to Pion for being an absolute sweetheart and giving me the opportunity. Always much appreciated. But yeah, no, we're gonna be let's talk about this game here. We've got Global Breakout, who I think they were the first, if I recall, in the original series set to get to this point. And then now we've got Yakuza again, two very strong teams. I think it's safe to say that prior to TBD, may peace be unto them before they disbanded. They were probably it was like maybe Global Breakout, like Yakuza, TBD. I mean, it really depended on how those teams were playing that day, but we've got the best teams here for this finals, and there's quite a bit of money on the line for this one too.
Quite a bit. They gotta get some money out of this. They gotta do something for a reason to be
Just a
the
little bit of
best.
money.
Come on, it's a little bit, just a little money,
Yo,
just a
yo,
little bit.
what's first place gonna get for us here, Benny?
Oh, yeah, you guys ask the question, not me, actually.
Oh, all right. So let me hit it with you. So first place, get this, $300, $300 for first, 150 for second. So
But
just a little bit of money
five
riding on the line here.
ways. Yeah, just a little bit, just a little bit. I was like, okay, well, I thought it was a little more, but hey, that's still decent though. It's still nice. It's still a nice chunk of change for having fun in a due process league. Still a little bit of money.
Yeah, absolutely. No, seriously, I was sitting here going like, what would I do with all that cash? I mean, obviously it's gonna be divvied up between
I want to say it's
five
five
players,
ways, so it's
but
like
I mean,
60
hey,
bucks. You can buy a new
shouts
game.
to go ahead, go ahead.
I would say it's 5 ways. You get 60 bucks. You can buy a new game. You can buy something when you want to that. Really, not too
Mm-hmm,
bad.
mm-hmm. Oh, especially since again, congratulations to Gnomes who did bring third place. But it was only like $50 for them, so I think it was something along the lines of like 10 per person. So 50 to 60, hey, the extra $50 in your pocket, that's not too bad.
Yeah. Well, actually, if you see the second place is 150, right? Though, so what you get that's actually a bit different there because I think if that's 5 ways, you're only getting like 30 bucks. 30
Something
bucks,
like
60 bucks a person.
we're doing
That's
math
a
on a stream, which frankly like scares me because math is not my strong suit to begin with. But hey, yeah, if that's the right
hey,
number, then let's do
yeah,
it.
that's a double and that's a double in money you get if you get second or first place. Then in that case,
hmm
yeah,
hmm
you're
Absolutely,
looking
absolutely.
at 30 more bucks to play around with, have some fun with for Christmas for this holiday season.
Whew, it is the season. Tis the season.
Especially because your hat, yeah, obviously.
And oh, actually, I don't know for anyone that is new and joining us for today, or hasn't maybe been recent and up to date. There is the winter season battle pass that the Giant Amity Crab or Gek has released for us, and now we have a lot of very wonderfully festive maps, themes, and skins. Which have you had a chance to get any of the?
Nope. I've not had a chance to jump into it. I saw a little bit. I was watching the due process yesterday. I saw the
Yeah.
skins on, and I
Oh,
saw the maps were covered in
mm.
snow, and I'm like, oh boy, I did not know. I didn't I fully forgot about that.
Oh, they are absolutely gorgeous here. But looks like we are okay. No, never mind. I was about to say we should be jumping
I'll say,
in here
yeah, no, we're still waiting. We're still waiting for the game to
momentarily.
start for whatever reason. But yeah,
Mhm.
no, it would be cool. Hey, I haven't totally, not totally up to date on the new winter pass, but I hopefully see some of those skins and see some of those new little festive things they brought into the maps when the game
Yeah,
started.
I really hope to see those. I mean, especially so. What? Let me hit you with this. Are you do you which would you say has the cleaner of the skins? Because frankly, it's been a bit of a dry spell for attackers. So like
Well, it
unironically,
also doesn't the Winter Battle Pass have the first actual attacker outfits on it too, actually?
yes,
Yeah, that's a
sir.
huge thing because
Yes, sir.
there were no attacker favorite or attacker things on the original Battle Pass, or the first Battle Pass.
Correct. Correct. So
So,
we didn't have
it's only
anything
it's
for the
only a
first.
couple. It's only a few, so it's not that many
Mhm.
per se still, but still it's better than nothing. Better than nothing.
No, we got RoboCop for Christmas. I mean, sadly, we didn't get any like. I would have. Oh, I would have loved it if we would have had like maybe like a Die Hard skin or like theme kind of playback because obviously Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I think that's just an unequivocal fact. But real quick, let's just kind of bring it back into the tournament here. We are going to be seeing Yakuza versus Global Breakout. Who do you think might be favoriting for this one here, Benny?
For this one, I have watched a bit of both teams. I'm
Mhm.
gonna give it to Yakuza.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Let's dive into that. Help me understand why.
Did you're gonna ask me why? I'm gonna tell you it's just a gut feeling.
Gut feeling. Okay.
Gut
No, hey,
feeling. I have no stats. I have
sometimes
nothing. I have no
yeah.
stats. I have no concrete evidence. It's all just
Mhm,
a gut
mhm.
feeling.
Okay, okay. No, that's hey, sometimes when your heart says go one direction, you gotta follow it. I mean, it is what it is. So I totally get it. Then just for the sake of the competitive conversation between us, I will obviously favor Global Breakout. Actually, shout outs to the Moonboat crew and my second IGL Havoc, who we actually had explicit. Who was our coach for a while? So I'm already kind of a Global Breakout fanboy in my opinion because he was
Oh,
playing
bias caster.
yeah, yeah. Oh, there it is. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. The cast is biased. But
So are you saying that you think that so on a competitive side of things, on a more logic side of things, what do you believe why do you think Global Breakout is a better team? Is it just like IGLing? Is it just based on how they
mhm.
play as a team, cohesion?
So there's all of that and more when you're talking about global breakout, and that's kind of
Really?
that's what's kind of scary about this. There's this gap. There's this gap that is always kind of being brought up in the competitive scene between like you've got again global breakout, Yakuza, TBD, and that's kind of it. And then there's like this gap, and then you've got like the rest of the underlings. You've got the rats, you've got LCG, you've got Genesis, you've got everyone else. But just up there in the heavens, you've got these. Their rotations are disgusting. Their timings are nutty. Their picks are just ungodly. Now, to be fair, we do not have Ixo leading the team for today. So I'm kind of curious
So
to
there's a
see who.
sub. So there's a sub
Uh,
on the side of Global Breakout.
sub yes slash another fill-in. I mean, I know those guys specifically. They've got like two or three guys deep of like rotations that they could bring in at kind of a moment's notice. So this is the one thing that I will say is kind of Global Breakout's reoccurring challenge that I see between them is they
Mhm.
are so good at their timing attacks, at everything working out, that if there's at any point where there's a rotate that fails, it's almost like the entire machine clicks and then they just crumble apart because they don't really know. They're so confident in everything that they do. When something doesn't work, they actually don't know how to almost adapt to that uncertainty.
So that's and
Where
that's a weakness then, not being able to that's like
correct.
because that's a weakness in a team. If a team has a strat, what they
Hmm.
want to do, but then that strat fails, or the strat has
Hmm.
a problem in that strat, the ability to be on your toes and change things up is inevitably something that people need to be aware of, people to do because it is hard to do. That's not an easy thing to do.
Hmm.
Most teams in any really game, really, being able to be on your toes and do things at a moment's notice is probably one of the hardest challenges for most teams. Because you go into a match, you go into a round, and you're like, "Hey, we're gonna do this, this, and this," but then say XYZ part of that strat fails, part of that
Right,
angle, you don't
right.
have part of that strat. Now you got to figure out how you're still gonna make that strat work, despite not having that XYZ approach otherwise that you might need. So I could.
Exactly.
So while you say that is an issue, I feel like it's an issue with really most teams personally, actually.
And that's like why it's such a big kind of like it is a problem, but it isn't a problem because again, these guys are the arguably the number one team in due process, and they've been running that now for a real hot minute.
Mm.
Because to try and catch global breakout by doing something so weird, it's almost like trying to convince or like it's kind of like trying to beat Skynet. Every time you give it something brand new, yeah, you'll catch him off guard for that one time. Now you got to do it like seven more times, and then you got to do it for
Yeah.
three whole maps, or at
We'll see
least
though,
two
because
at
I
the.
think the interesting part is like right now because they're still in like the early parts of due process lifespan right now,
Hmm.
and it's really
Hmm.
interesting to see these teams who you say are like the best teams right now.
Hmm.
And I wonder when if and when due process starts to really go on release, they get out of early
Which it will.
access, and we see the game really released. Would those teams still be on the top at that point? I'm really just to see what happens then, because right now you can still consider due process that kind of niche game right now. It's an early access. There's only so many people who play it, so many people who really grind it out day per
Mhm.
day. And it'd be interesting to see if these teams like Global Breakout talking about who right now are the number one in your eyes, can they stay on top of that?
So I will always say this, and I always believe this. Nothing is permanent in life, whether that's a good or a bad thing. Global breakout, I do not believe that global breakout in 3 years time span will be the exact same team, have the exact same players or anything like that. There might be a new global breakout. There's going to be a new team as things grow and develop, and also as this game grows and develops. You'll have more people looking at this game. You'll have more Ikazos, you'll have more Argos, more Sachis, more Plebdos. You'll have a lot of those just absolute gamers coming in here, and I think that that gap that we were talking about will, instead of it turning into a gap, the upper area will actually grow, and so you'll have a kind of a more natural, top down view on the
Hmm.
hierarchy. But you'll see, more global breakouts, which is frankly terrifying to me, because I mean I'm already bad enough, but knowing that there's like even more successful gamers that are on that
Well,
grind every
yeah.
day, that
I don't, because I don't
I
want to
don't
say
need
more
that,
global.
man.
I don't want to see more global breakouts because that's one because interesting to me, it's just like every team has their own characteristics, and I don't want more
Absolutely,
global.
absolutely.
I want more
Mhm.
teams that sure are on the same level as global breakout, but they are characterized by their own personal strats
And
and traits.
I wish you would have been able to see TBD, because those are the kind of guys that when you talk about being like weird and quirky, but like in a good and non-cringy way, TBD was that. I mean, you want to talk about like they would do like a 3-2 push, but it'd be like, if you're, let's say factory for example, three through like the green door, and then like 45 seconds later Doc's breach. Like, just because they had already planned that, but like you were already a minute and a half into the game, 45 seconds in, and now you're planning to breach Docs. I mean, it's such a like a big brain style of play that, I really enjoyed from TBD. And as you mentioned, like a lot of groups and teams have their own kind of flavor. Global Breakout to me is robotic, but in a good way. They are perfect to a
Yeah, but
T
yeah, but
until it
robotic is its
changes.
own trait, though. That's the thing.
Exactly.
That's just like there's other people and other teams like about esports that are the same way. With the robotic, they're a team that can do things perfectly and to a
Hmm.
T,
Hmm.
but it has its own problems. Like you said, being able to be on your toes and adapt is one of those issues because they're so robotic. Because
Yep.
they've done it one way and they've mastered that one way,
Right, exactly.
and that's the kind of
And
issue with that.
that's the double-edged sword of them. As soon as you do something weird, or you have a team that, throws them off their game because they're not used to playing almost something that's basically new meta for them,
Mhm,
it's impossible for them to adapt to that. And I can like and that's where I think, let's bring it back into Yakuza's, limelight here. That's where I think Yakuza is going to need to have to come in with something, not, I don't want to say fresh and new, but if they want to try and fight Global Breakout at their game, it's you're gonna have to fight Skynet, and can you really do that comfortably? It's possible. I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but it's very difficult comparatively to, okay, let's do something weird. Let's do something that, when I say let's hide underneath stairs with an auto shotty and do something what would be considered, stupid in the meta, but it's gonna catch these guys out because they're not expecting something like that, opening shutters, or opening the docks in factory and then having a mop peek out, those little things that would be so poor, but it'll work.
mhm. Yeah, I don't know, 'cause me, like, I do agree, it seems like you're really selling this off as, like, a team that can that is just a fantastic team, they're great. I could akin it to other teams in other esports, and when
Mhm.
you usually see those teams, the issue comes into play is when they become counter-strutted, when people know what they're
Yep,
gonna do because they've done it so
yep.
many times, and that's where the question is, Yakuza, can they figure that out? Can they figure out the secret to the sauce that is Global Breakout strats? 'Cause that's where the
Exactly.
big thing here is the fact that if they can figure those out and they can start to just, as you said, get in their gears, start doing things you wouldn't expect, or
Mhm,
even you don't have to be unexpected, but if they fail little bits again and again on different
mhm,
parts of the map, that gets into the mental. And that mental is such a big thing for all these teams. If you start to, start to get frustrated, you start to
mhm.
not have fun, you start to be, you start to getting exasperated trying to
Right,
work your one
right,
strat and it's not working out. That's when teams start to fall apart. They start trying different things, they start doing things that aren't really normal per se, and then they start failing at them. Then they're scrounging for a straw to figure things out.
right. And again, I think the challenge isn't so much gonna be on Global Breakouts to be good, but it's gonna be on
No, no.
Yakuza to step up.
No, no, it's
And
I think I agree with you. If you're fully correct on the global break and how good they are, then it's fully on Yakuza
mhm,
here to do that. They have to be the ones to break the mental, break what
yep.
the robot in them, so they're not a robot anymore. They're not a
Break the
cyborg.
robots,
Yeah, yeah,
rise against
exactly.
the
Bring the
machine.
human out of global breakout. Make them human. make them have that, emotional problems with the game at that point. Because then
Mhm.
it's not just a straight, okay, let's do this, checklist. Now it's a, I'm angry and I don't know what's going on and
Yep,
I don't know what to do here.
absolutely. But with that being said, it's go time,
Finally.
Benny. It's go time, baby.
It took a while.
It took a minute, but hey, I mean, again, we're about to see gods clash here for the opportunity
Yeah,
to either
really
take $300 or 150 to the bank. I'm
really
ready if
selling me
you
on
are,
this.
baby.
You're really selling me on this.
Oh, I'm excited. This is
Yeah.
this is
If
the
this becomes a one-sided affair and Global Breakout just beats them to heck and hell, I'm just gonna be
Mhm.
like, "All right, what happened here, man? Where's the
Whoa, it's
whole 2 gods
whoa,
thing?"
whoa. This is a Christian due process server. You better watch that mouth, boy. No.
Christian due process server. I don't know how many are actually Christian.
Oh, I'm just giving you a hard time. Don't worry about it. All right, let's get into it. Let's see where we're gonna start. I'm really excited. Again, as you had mentioned, the energy, the momentum, and I think the first 3 rounds are going to dictate the rest of this first set here. I like. Oh, hang on.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm in game. I'm
I
watching them. They're on bank.
okay, they're on bank. Okay, sorry, my game kicked me back into the main lobby, and then it said, "Oh, hang on, you're trying to join a game," and then I guess I'm reconnecting. So, go ahead and let's just give us a quick rundown of what we're looking at here.
All right, well, here we go. We got a common bank. It's the one with the hallway, the buttons in the hallway. There's a vault, of
Mm,
course. And the big thing here, like I've seen before, is the bathroom by the hallway. I've always seen that every single time. Just like having someone in that bathroom with a with an
mm.
auto shotty, and then seeing the defenders. The question is, are the defenders going to try and play their lives for the button, or are they going to do just play, a certain part of it for the button, and then expect to have 2 people in the vault or waiting that end of round so they can just deny the push later on and time runs out.
Right. Well, taking a look at it here, we do have okay. So it's Copper Shenka. Alrighty, alrighty. So this map specifically, you definitely can kind of expect a bit more of a hallway kind of button play, just based off of if you take a look here at how bank slash vault is set up. The real risk that the defenders run into is if they don't keep button, secured. It's going to be so easy for those defenders to just roll in there, start the defuse, and then there you go, baba boy, you're done. Because even the way that the defuse for the bomb is set up is it's facing a wall, so as long as you can get a guy behind the bomb and start to kind of crouch and hide it, in a ball, you're pretty much good to go to start defusing. So it's really gonna be on Yaokuza to make sure that they hold down that bathroom, the hall, as well as accounting.
Well, it depends too, as well. As like usually you've seen teams. I will say in other vaults too. It depends.
Mm,
This vault is very open, so it's hard to sit in the vault either too, because there's not any
mhm.
cover really. The only cover you're gonna have is sitting, next to the door, and that's not much really. So I really
Right,
feel you on this one too, especially with the fact there's no cover in there. If they get in there, well, they're already starting us off. They're opening up the entrance door. Flago's got an angle from that window. Maybe Tigo Man is looking to try and pre-fire through the wall if they push through, but no angles just yet. Looks like there's 2 members. So basically, this is a double play. There's that push through entrance, the push through vaults or through the vents for Global Breakout. Let's see if it works out so far. Floggo's the first one in. Argo's gonna murder him immediately. He's dead to the ground immediately. Now calling an explicit, making their way through manager, and that's map control easily gained by the attack. It's a good starting point.
I'm very surprised by the idea of having Floggle sitting there in Tellers almost by himself. He was pretty much a free pick here for the Global Breakout team. And yeah, as you said, oh, great refrag, or I guess initial push, though, from Ghetto to first start. But I love that Photon is just sitting in with the NAC 11, getting some great wall bang in there and almost locking down security here for the Yakuza team. Now, Tommy's sitting off in the distance. I think he's trying to kind of keep X away from the rotate, but the looks like the Global Breakout boys are finally getting some kind of control and security. The grenade is going to clear the barbs, but again, not a lot of utility. A lot of one key thing that I've learned from the Global Breakout boys is they will try and save until they are literally about to die 2 flashbangs to get into vault to secure it. But right now, it's looking like they're going to need to use at least 1 or 2 of them to get themselves into the hallway.
Ooh. And this is kind of the issue talking about before about being on your toes and changing things up, because now they kind of just pit themselves into that one play and they're trying to clear. There's only 2 members left in the 2v4 here at the end of this round. Molotov comes
Great
out too. Render
Molotov.
can't push any further. That Molotov is only 20 seconds left to go. But technically, you need 10 seconds to defuse the bomb too. So this is pretty much a end of the round for Global Breakout. Do some damage to the economy, probably the next
Ooh, the
thing really
rotate.
for them. Oh, the rotate. Maybe Render can. Is he going to be able to stay alive? No, he's dead. And that kind of that round to me speaks on the problem you're talking about. Exactly that problem. Because while the main part is getting to that button, why didn't someone earlier, go with explicit for that flank. Because you talk about Photon. Photon was playing that
Mhm.
angle. He was pre-firing through the wall with a knack to make sure they can't push into security. So how do you defuse that? You need to go for a flank. You need to go for a multifaceted attack there. And it seemed like Global Breakout in that round just got stuck on security and they stopped right there.
Absolutely. And again, as soon as they hit that wall, that click, the machine panicked and they've crumbled immediately. They got into security, but there was that pause. There was that like, okay, what do we do now? They're ready at the end of the hall. We can't really move anywhere else. And I love the call that you gave about, getting some support to X because he tried to get himself into accounting, but he really couldn't. He didn't have enough utility to get himself in there.
And there was
And
2 flashbangs in one of the attacker's pockets
yeah,
too.
on 2, yeah, exactly, exactly. So, I'm very surprised by that call. Is now
Yeah.
the good thing is we're on factory. There wasn't a saber call, which one thing that Global Breakout is almost notorious for, and this is something that I have always brought this up, is usually, especially if you've got like an Ixo running it, he will always take saber first round. He will always take mop first round and just run it. This is a level of respect to Yakuza's favor that they're not running Saber first. They actually made the cognitive decision to wait until at least Factory. I'm assuming we're going to be seeing Saber on Factory here. You can just based off of the lines we're seeing. I'm thinking we're going to see probably a 3-2 split from Docks and Green or the Green Door. But very surprised that I think I think Global Breakout's a little bit worried here.
Interesting too, because like last round, what I was talking about is like a lot of times and other esports talk about too is the difference
Mm,
between stalling and setting up. And
mhm.
that's kind of the thing I need to see from Global Breakout is not to stall. You need to be on your toes, thinking of another
Right.
setup, thinking of another play you're gonna make if the first one doesn't work. And that's like you talked about. That's a big weakness here from them that we need to see them doing. And it's difficult. On attack
Mhm.
when you're playing for a play, it's not easy to just be like, okay, guys, this didn't work all of a sudden and then call it. Like
Right,
that's
right.
why IGL's in-game leaders in most games are such an important role for teams. Such an important role.
Absolutely. Massive point here is going to be the map for Factory, and very, very sparse usage of barbed wires here. So they're definitely expecting here some sort of kind of wild play, but
It
5-man
seems like
server.
they're expecting a power play because you see they brought the
Hmm.
flares too. So
Hmm.
they're expecting a power play and they're expecting the push from power play onward, and they're going to try and defend it as they don't think they're going to open dock, which doesn't look like they're going to. It seems to be a full save from the side of Global Breakup besides the tar.
It seems to be the case. I'm very surprised that yeah, the fact that they're going. Well, let's take a look here. Do we have NVGs on the players? No, we don't have any goggles from the looks of it.
Yeah, it's a full save.
So
Like
it's a
there's
full. It's
there's
yeah. It's a quote unquote save. Yeah, I see where
yeah,
you're going with
the
that.
only thing they're bringing is the tars, which they might not need in the last map. So this is kind of them
Yeah.
just pushing through, trying to take fights. Which there's a mop in play, there's some Ingmars in play from the side of the defense. So really, it's going to be up to them trying to win these fights, despite maybe that difference in weapons.
And I like the idea of trying to go for a save on this, but also kind of see this as they still need to try and give their best shot here. I mean, again, they're starting to slow down here. They're trying to find these initial picks from the team. They found Tommy very early, but that
Ooh,
mop
the mop.
again, they know the mop is there for sure. Two of them have already fallen over, and this global breakout push is just well, it's to be expected that it would crumble. As we mentioned, it is a bit of a save, but very, very cognitive decision here from their IGL to say, all right, we're going to play it safe and we're going to just kind of give it
Yep.
our best shot. But that was a solid kind of the Yakuza guys just they saw the 5-man into green. They backed off and just let the global breakout team kind of funnel into this very nasty kind of kill zone here for them.
No, they kind of. It's kind of interesting that they expected them. They almost, for whatever reason, Yakuza expected them to not open dock for whatever reason.
Hmm.
Because you can tell by the way the bar bar is placed. You can tell by what they were bringing that they
Yeah,
and the way
they
they backed
expected the
off.
save.
They expected some kind of like save where they weren't going to open dock. They weren't going to bring that wall charge for dock. Depending on the last map, I forgot what it was. It would make sense actually, depending on what it is. I don't know what it was before, but in that instance, they just backed off. They let them take control of office, let them take control of the
It was
the
wonderful
initial part of
passive
the
play.
map.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
just too passive. They knew what was happening. They let them walk into it,
Hmm.
and from there, and of course, see, this is C store. Maybe that actually makes sense because C store opening up that storefront is a big part of a lot of C store attacks. So maybe
Hmm.
calling the fact that you're not going to open dock to save that wall charge for C store was a great call from Yakuza. Well, if it didn't happen that way, then we would
Ah,
of
there.
course say
Okay.
they're wrong. But
No, absolutely. And I was gonna say, okay, so they've got an extra door charge. So where they want to use it, tellers. Okay, that's fantastic because now Okay, I was just about to say, and that thank you X for the additional drawings. That is going to open up and isolate the entire middle of receiver Orion here on C store. So that's
That is such a
beautiful.
isolated teller to the point where that just
Oh
sucks for
yeah,
the
it's not worth it
defense.
to defend. Absolutely,
That is
but
not even worth it, and so you don't even at that point, you don't even need to waste the wall charge on wall if you're just gonna open the shutter too.
that's true. And at that point, I would almost agree with you because then we can also see them maybe try and get into shed or
Yeah, or
try and go
freezer, yeah.
for
Yeah, they could go for
a
freezer,
power
they could
play.
go for shed, they could go for something different here. Because if you're gonna use that and you're gonna full push tellers, you still I don't think
Mm,
how many grenades they have left, but if you full clear tellers and then just open the shutter, then the person with the
mhm.
saber that's out there could just sit there and wait. You push freeze at the same time, cut the cross angle off.
Right. No, yeah, exactly. And then just like that, you've cleared 2/3 of the entire base or the entire
Exactly, and
map.
then if they
Excuse me.
push from
So,
arcade, you can have someone watch from freezer, cut the cross from arcade if they were to
mhm,
go that way, and then
mhm.
at that point, it's just pushing through Starfront and winning those fights elsewise. Because otherwise, how else do you get into the room? That green door, that's it.
Exactly. And at that point, green door is a free door. And Taiga's got himself the mop. Might be trying to do some cheeky stuff here, but
Oh, Tommy though's got the auto
Tommy
shotty.
with the auto shotty. So that's a wrap in itself. But
That
again,
depends, again, if they have
it's
grenades, it
super
depends on if they have
exposed.
grenades
Yeah,
or
one
not.
one grenade and well, even then, one grenade and you that doesn't guarantee because Tommy can still back off depending on how good the flash is. Looks like it is going
Yeah.
to be for tellers, so he's going to play it as is. And here's the cross. No, okay, they do respect the window, so that's good. A lot of times you can see teams kind of just go for this crazy, just run across, no big deal. Colin's going to oh, what? Hello, Taiga didn't take the shot. It seems, but here we go. There's one, and the second should be on its way. Oh, it's gonna be a slow rotate for a 3.
So it's
Like
gonna be a
this.
3 push, and they don't have any grenades, they only have flashes here. This could prove to be just disastrous
Good
because they don't have a
delay.
grenade in hand, they only have flashes to do so. There's no shotgun either brought by the attack, so it's a shotgun versus an AP.
Right, right. But a good sandwich so far, but no! Tommy with the auto shot, he
Trade?
does
That's
get
good
one in
trade.
trades.
That's good. If you can open up shutters now.
Shutters is
Oh, but no, the saber's down. He got hit by the mop. So now at this point, it's calling. He doesn't haven't picked up the mop yet either. His shed's it's open.
they
He
open
looks to
shed
see.
after that. Okay.
Yeah, so at this point, it's so difficult for them now. It's a 2v3, but they have no real control over the map. Colin pushes his way through, runs into Ghetto. He's trying to win the fight. Unfortunately, Ghetto is better at him and the outfit with the AK. Now it's unexplicit in a 1v2. He's got a one from Tellers, and both members know where he is. Photon gets one. He's fighting a
Oh,
fight
but don't
long
count the
range with
boy X
Ghetto.
out just yet.
Ugh,
He's well,
dead.
okay, never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, that was unfortunately didn't have the grenades, they didn't have the utility to try and push out or kill the guy or to Tommy with the
Mm.
auto shotty in enough time, and by the time they got control of tellers, the the person Pluto with the saber is dead.
Again, it comes down to that timing, as we had mentioned earlier with Global Breakout. And wow, talk about let's just take a moment here. That was a 3 sweep from Yaokuza. They are out here just absolutely dominating Global Breakout in this first
I'm
initial
not gonna say
entry.
anything until we see both halves personally, because I feel like that's how sometimes it happens with this, is that you see a full defense winning, and
True,
then next thing you know, you see
true,
defense wins again.
but that
So
also sets up.
if it's
Go
a
ahead.
full Yakuza half, then I'm gonna be like, okay, now we're in trouble here. Now we need to see.
Mhm.
Now I'm worried.
But right off the bat, the fact that they were able to get 3 off of Global Breakout in such an early manner, so early into this best of 3, that still does say something to Yakuza. It says that the robots can bleed, and
It does,
I
it does,
think
it does.
once they start to smell blood in the water, I don't think that that's gonna stop this perception of energy. Again, momentum, as you had mentioned, is such a big deal here in in due process, excuse me, that,
It's in general, yeah. It's just
if you
now
can
it's up
take
to
it and run
the
it,
mental
that's
fortitude.
dangerous.
Now it's up to mental fortitude. Does global breakout have the cybernetics to stay calm and not
Mm,
freak out just yet? Because to me right now, it's still early. It's only 3 rounds. Sure, I agree. 3 rounds straight is a problem, but
mhm.
if it's the maps have gone how like they would, and they learn from the defenses to how how they played it, they could bring it around and do the same exact thing. And I really think that in games like this right now, the momentum isn't too big just yet. It's still just surmounting a little bit. It's starting to rise, but it can be easily squashed if you play this right. If you play it like they did, if you learn from your own mistakes or what you missed and what you failed at, and you learned what happened, you could just not it's easily, but you could do the same thing on your defense. But hey, we'll see what
I would
happens though.
think that it would almost depend. I think Global Breakout has to 3 sweep this defense because if they, I mean, obviously, if they let one
Yes,
out, that's a
yeah,
big deal. But
I say
if
if they
they have to,
yeah.
they have to perfect it, and that's what I'm worried about here because again, this I think let me look back here for a second. I think this is the first time, besides when they played against Yakuza last time, that this kind of a situation where they are currently down 3 has really happened. I think this is actually a bit of an anomaly for our robot boys here.
Hey, well, we'll see what happens if they can keep it up. But we're looking back on
A
this.
little bit more
Now
barbed
we're on the
wires.
attack. Yakuza on the attack. The barbed wire holding on the hallway per usual. And we'll
Mhm.
see, if we see Yakuza, if they can make that push that Global Break could not. If they can understand to try and flank some of these players who are playing hallway, get that pinch in and stop them playing. Because like so you see here too as well. Maybe if somehow they can't get in
5
the vent because they
entrances.
did a red door, but if they
Right,
somehow
right.
could deal with Argo like that, like it was Photon last time, and deal with that position, this could be a much easier play. Oh, Pluto's
Oh.
stuck! Run away!
Be careful there, baby. Okay, five into lobby though. I mean, just a little bit of kind of skirmish trading, but Argo got that knack to try and wallbang into security. So far, so good on the defensive side, but Ghetto's already in there. Tommy's got an extra charge on his hands. What's up? Let's see what he's gonna plan to do with that. Unless that was a
He
mistake.
wanted to open the wall. It was here if he was going to plant it on this wall and open it up to get another
Mhm.
angle on the hallway was the plan, but I don't know if you can do that. Don't you need a wall charge for that?
You need a wall charge for it, yeah.
Because
Unless he's
I
gonna
think
just
if you
put it
do
on
that,
this
it
door to clear the
only.
barb.
Oh, that would
That's
be
the
interesting,
plan.
actually. Yeah, he did put it on there. Oh, it did open it actually. So there goes the barbed wire. They're rushing in now, but the
Oh
Molotov
my
burns all
god,
three of
that
them. And
Molotov!
this is exactly the issue we saw from the side of Global Breakout, is that
Yep.
one-side affair. You're trying to rush into what's expected. You saw the barbed wires there. They know you're rushing into it, and it just hey, this time they got fried. They didn't get shot down,
There's
but they
another
got
barbed
they got
wire there just in case, just to really send the
yeah,
message.
just to redo it all. So again, this is the issue with these teams right now. Is that's why I feel like it's too early to call because they could make the same exact mistakes that Global Breakout made on their
Mhm.
attacks.
Well, we'll have to see. Taiga has backed all the way off with the saber, and it
He's
looks
gonna
like
stay. He's
Floggo's
gonna
maybe
stay
just
alive.
trying to get a little bit of economic damage here on the global breakout side. But a 5 sweep is a much cleaner round than I think it was like the two piece or the last two guys standing on the Yakuza side. Render with the sneaky stuff. He's trying to find Floggle if he can. Floggle's just going to back
Flog is trying to
all
get
the
out
way out.
with life. He gets out. Keeps him
Not just
alive.
yet. Not.
Oh, and
Oh,
he takes
okay.
one down. Pluto, he went for the kill. Looking to fight.
Oh, hang on, hang on.
Oh,
That's a
Floggo's
bit
getting
off.
his stats in. Come on, Floggo, you got this.
That's a bit cringe. Alrighty, there we go. And global breakout, take it with for 2 on the nose.
So yeah, again, like like sure, it did seem more one sided this time around, but that's because I feel like it was a much more slower attack from Global Breakout when it came to that security push. They didn't try to, really force the issue. And then for Yakuza, they totally forced the issue. They were like, we're just
Yeah,
gonna
I was gonna say. Well,
open the door and just
they
run
ran
in.
in there gung ho. They had this big brain
Yeah.
play that getting that door charge on there was gonna be what kind of
Ah,
deters them.
it's sort of
They
not
blasted
really.
that and then they ran in absolutely assuming that they were gonna be cash money with that smoke. That failed horribly.
Yeah, no, it's if this maybe is like CS:GO where smoke like takes out like Molotovs, that make
Mhm.
more sense here, but it doesn't do that in the process.
No, I don't. Yeah, we
So
don't do
you
that
just
here.
run in the fire. So like I because interesting too. Initially, when I saw them do that or
Mhm.
like marking things on the map, it seemed like they were gonna put that on the wall outside of hallway so they can get an angle if they're swinging around the corner to
If they
try to
had
pick
wall
people
charge,
off.
yes,
But
but
no, even though I'll charge because so my question is, can you
mm,
put it on the wall? Not to open it to go through, just to make an angle.
no.
You can't do that. I know like on if you do like a door charge on like the walls outside, you can make like a little hole.
For certain ones, so, like, on dock, for example, you can
Yeah,
breach
dock
these,
or like
and
a
that'll
C
open it up,
store,
but, like,
even shutters.
you can't, like I don't, I'll have to I'm gonna have to go back into the
'Cause
map
I'm
and
pretty
try it
sure
out
like for
myself.
these, like I know for these, like these outside dock ones, you can
Mhm,
use a door charge and make a hole. You
mhm.
can't go through the
Yes.
hole, but you
Yes.
can make a hole. So I wasn't sure if you could do that there for them, because that if you could do that, then you could make a hole to stop them from swinging, so you can make the push initially into the hallway. That's what I thought they were
Sure.
gonna do at first,
Yeah,
because that kind of
and
what the issue is.
someone in the chat's probably gonna correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm fairly confident that even if you place it on I don't think you can even place it on the walls, you're only able to place it
Yeah,
on
that's what I wasn't sure.
actual
I'm not sure if you
structures
can or
of
not.
doors, but yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you can put anything even on the wall in the first place. I know
Right,
you can
no.
for like the outside walls, the metal ones,
Correct.
because I've done it
It'd be kinda
myself
spicy if you
before.
could so it'd be really spicy if you put it on a window and then, blast the glass in there at someone, but that's a whole nother conversation for another time. We're on
That's a whole
massive
other
point here.
conversation.
We're
But yeah,
5-3.
so the question now is,
Yes.
we're
Can
back
they
on
do it
Dock.
again?
We're back on Factory. Now, the last time the big thing was the fact that the defense on
Mhm.
Yakuza played back. They played for long angles. They played for the long range fights.
Yes.
It doesn't seem to be the way for Globe Breakout as much, actually. And it seems like
No,
Yakuza are
Pleb
going
wants
for
blood.
power.
Plebdo wants blood, and he's gonna try and murder Tommy here.
Oh,
And yeah, there you go. One man must
well.
play, and it looks like X actually got it instead of Pleb, which is a bit of a joke, but it is what it is. Grenades can clear that out. And again, I want to point this out though. We've got these barbed wires here a bit more aggressively. So instead of trying to, let the global breakout boys in here as Yakuza did, I think that they're going to just try and kind of almost halt them inside server farm.
You say it, but nobody's really pushing up for the barbed wire though. Oh, they're all playing
Yeah,
back
they've
from the moment.
given up
So
the
it's just
barbs.
it's
What?
just it's just it's just noise at this point that you're gonna know they're coming in. Explicit's the only one really pushing up to try and take that
Mm.
fight. Collins got an angle from the doorway actually on that position. He's gonna get
Oh,
fired out. He's gonna
good
hit with a
flash though.
flashbang. And they're looking to maybe push that for the power. So it looks like they're all gonna push towards boiler. So one thing's interesting from the side of Yakuza, they tend to do attacks like
They have
really
MVGs, so it's
4 or
definitely a
5
power play.
people on one thing. Like they don't
Mm.
tend to like have someone go off and do their own thing that we saw from Gold Breakout. It seems to be all, hey, we're most of us gonna go for the same thing, which is a good and bad thing.
So yeah, I've started to kind of key the phrase wolf packing, where you'll have your entire team just go off and go on one singular guy. So even if you trade it, there's like 4 extra guns placed on you. Now, obviously, that runs the risk of you've got all these crossfires here, and this is exactly what we're talking about. Now they've got the power, that's great and all, but there's only really 2 ways that they can get in, and every angle is covered.
Yeah,
Except,
at this
of
point,
course,
Tigerman's got to be the man to make a play. Like you said, Wolfpack, he's
just
got to be
like
the
that.
one, and they gets a shot. So that's one person down. If now Photon at this point has to try, Photon and Tommy, or no, Photon
Mm.
and Ghetto, now if it's trying to walk through into an angle that Argo should be watching. So, oh, there
Ooh,
goes
that's a
Tiga though.
good
That's
one.
not a good shot. Ghetto's by himself. He's gonna try to win a fight against Argo though, and he's taking heavy damage. Not heavy
Ghetto.
damage. Actually, no, he's actually. Oh, wow,
Okay,
wins fight
hang
against
on. We're
Argo.
not done just yet here.
Wait,
Ghetto's still
Mop versus
blasting.
Ghetto.
He doesn't know. Look at how he's looking. He doesn't
He's
he
got 10
doesn't realize
seconds.
how close he is.
Oh no, he's not. He's getting shot in the
Oh, this
back.
is gonna.
He's
Oh
so
no, not
dead.
my boy.
He's dead. I told you, he's dead.
Oh well, Ghetto started to swing in, confident that he had Photon and Taiga for support, but then Pleb just comes up hot, and he actually grabs the saber just to make sure, because he's got 2 full mags of saber ammo here. So who needs a mop anyways?
They're both really
That's
good
a
guns.
big pick.
I told you, man. That was on Taiga at that point. Taiga had the saber. He had the angle that was not being totally red.
Hmm.
He was the only person that once he got that first pick though, he was red at that point, and he had to make a play because otherwise it's Ghetto and the other person has to walk up into an angle they have to go into, and they only have what they have a tar and they have an AP,
Yeah,
and
against the
you're walking
Legros.
into a place that they're expecting. So
This is where it's like I'm playing against these kind of guys, and I've got my mop, I've got my guy playing mop. I'm sitting here with the Legos going, oh boy, I can't wait to get murdered by the AP-25 Black Tar, and then these guys just make it look like it's another Tuesday or another Sunday with like, oh yeah, it's a Legros, they're gonna die. Like that's just it's very close. And again, I want to point this out though. That factory hold was a heck of a lot closer for Global Breakout than it was for Yakuza. That came down to literally a one-on-one.
again like that was the reason why I talked about before that there was a lot more initial fights compared to
Mm.
Yakuza's defense compared to Yakuza. Yakuza let them walk in, let them take that control. They didn't go for power either, so there was at least no power in that instance. And then they just backed off and they had Ingmars, they had Legroses, they had the mop in hand, and they're like, hey, just walk into our sites. We know
Yep.
where you're coming from. Easy peasy. And especially the fact that they saved for they read it well that they're gonna save. Great job from Yakuza. But now again, it's still looking like a 3-3 at the half though. It's still looking like the 3-3 because now we're on to C store. Sure, they still have the hard breaching, but now there's no saber. They have no long range. They only have tars really to use.
It, it's a 3-3, but how we got here is again, as we had mentioned before we first started, the methodology that the two teams kind of went through. Yakuza came in and I think they played a lot more fluid than Global Breakout. Again, Global Breakout won because of their grind through that. I mean, it wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna need, Floggle to peak with Ghetto, and then we're gonna flash, and then Taiga's gonna get the pick. It was like, all right, Pleb watches angle, gets pick. We've got 2 watching the last guy, and then you're gonna just clutch it because you will. Like they
I do
just
agree.
get it.
It seemed like kills wise, it's an issue. But when it comes to economy though, economy wise, it's been a big issue for Yakuza at the end of this.
Oh, absolutely. Well, they're missing a saber right now. I think
Yeah, they have
that
no
is a
saber. They have
sign
no
in
long
itself.
range fights to deal with this, and now they have to. Actually, do they even have? Do they have a second? Oh, they probably have a second hard breach too. Do they or not?
No, they used one already. They've used both. I believe it's just the wall charge now.
That's even worse then.
Yeah, because remember they brought they brought 2 reds on bank, one to get into entrance and the other one to breach the green door,
Oh
and
yeah,
that
I forgot to
failed.
breach the door on bank for
Yeah,
that
and
crazy play.
that grenade, hello? What? So that's just
It
BM for
might
putting that
explode in the
there.
air because sometimes you can if you throw it too high, it explodes in the air. It doesn't destroy the barbed wire. So that's
It has to
unfortunate.
hit the floor, and then there's like a half second because it does like a tink, 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 and then explodes. But
Oh, other
good
pushing
smokes,
in.
they're in.
Gano can get control of freezer. Oh, he has control of freezer. Colin's
That's
playing
a
in the back
big.
arcade though. Alive though. He walks out. Floggo, he wins the fight. He does kill Floggo. So Tommy's got to try and take that refrag. Argo's in the middle of smoke though. Still behind him. And Colin goes down. So it's the control now in the hands of Yakuza, just rushing into C-Store.
But not just yet here, because again, look at this stack up here from the global break. Oh, that was such
Oh,
a
well,
clean
it's on the
angle
pleb.
from
Pleb's
Ghetto.
gonna make a play.
Yes, it's all on pleb on this rotate. As long as Render doesn't fall over though, because if Render falls over, then
Oh,
the
does
Yakuza
Tommy
guys could
know?
just storm the bomb.
Does Tommy know?
He he's got to look at how
No, he doesn't.
patiently.
He doesn't know.
Oh
He doesn't know.
no! Here comes
Pleb. Pleb is
the
in a
rotate
perfect
of a
position.
lifetime.
If
There's
Pleb just,
one.
oh,
There's two.
yep, I knew it. I
Oh
told you.
god! Disgusting. Oh my
I told
god.
you. He had no clue. He had zero clue that Pleb had just crouched walk his way around storage and was like, all right, guys, I got this. And just like you said, if Render just stays alive, which he did,
Mhm.
he just has all of the, and it's interesting too because it's interesting that you're in that situation for Yakuza.
Right.
You're in that end round. You're looking to win it, but you only see one person. Shouldn't that be an alarm in your
That's
head?
well, and I think that's why they had one guy watching the door. They were like, okay, waiting, 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 waiting. He's not there. Okay, let's go.
Like, if you know that Render is sitting inside Tellers, at that point, it might have been better for them just to hunt down the last person who wasn't in Tellers, because Tellers is a box. You
Mhm.
can't leave Tellers. So at
Well,
that point, you should
the
hunt down the
door's
other
facing them.
player.
There's only one way he can go.
Yeah, exactly. So at that point, you should be like in situations like these in other games too. Is
Mhm.
like in that situation, it's better to hunt down that mysterious X player that could be anywhere, because that's
Oh,
going to be that
absolutely,
player who makes the
absolutely.
difference. So again, these are late round situations that are hard to make calls on. It's so difficult to make those calls for these
But
teams, and
that's why we're
unfortunately,
here.
well, you
These
know, that's what I
guys.
was also gonna say. That's
Yeah.
that's our job to say you should have done that, but that's just how it is. That's
Well,
just because it's
yeah,
twenty twenty
it's easy
hindsight.
for us sitting up here in the
It's just twenty twenty
skybox.
hindsight for us because we're watching from the top.
That's where you take your notes. Go make sure don't get rotated by Saber player. Got it. Okay, check, check,
Yeah.
check,
Oh, not even the
check.
saber player.
You
He
know.
didn't have the saber even. He could have any gun, and just the fact that he flanks you though, and you have no clue,
Oh.
is
Yeah,
the
but
issue.
Flink. I mean, oh, that was a clip
Because
right
even
there.
if he didn't
Flink
have
with
the
the
saber,
saber.
just as
That's just
long as Render
dirty.
stays alive and he wastes enough time and he kills
Hmm.
the person defusing, and the next person has to go defuse on top of that because time's running out,
Hmm.
it didn't matter if he had a saber or not. He just has to kill the person defusing. It just
Absolutely,
makes it
absolutely.
chaotic. Because at that point, if you're in a 3v2 and the one person defusing dies because you hadn't cleared your flanks or watched your flanks,
Yeah.
and the next person to go get the fuse, now there's only one person covering. Render can come out of tellers and take that fight. And you can come out of their part and take that fight too.
I seriously think the only reason that we were at this 3-3 position though, and I will be absolutely serious with you, is because of that clutch from Pleb. Had he not done that, and again we're playing the dangerous game of if as we go into this last half of this first
Wait, no,
match
wait,
or this
what
set.
do you mean clutch? Oh,
So
you're talking about the factory one. Well, the
yeah, the
factory one
factory.
was, yeah.
Had he not clutched that, had an
Yeah.
extra guy alive, they would have had to pick between he had to pick between Mop and Saber, and he
Well,
picked
all right, all
Saber.
right. That
So
that that that's a what if at that point. That's a what if at that point. That is a whole lot of what ifs for that situation, really, in my
but
opinion. Because
that was huge. His by him
I think
clutching that,
because I think even if he
that
didn't have the
gave
saber,
them.
he still could have won that round on the flank on the C store, even without the saber.
Mm, well, it's a game of if, but either way, Zulu Scepter, 5 onto Beach here, so they're not actually going to be pushing Obs to try and pressure that, which is kind of fine. It's not the end of the world because, again, as you can see,
No, it's because it's
uh,
such a long
oh
angle.
yeah, such a
This
long
map
angle.
is ridiculous.
Well,
Yeah.
the biggest issue is obviously getting through Pit
Yeah,
because
pit's gonna be the problem here, and there's no barbed wire though. There's no barbed wire in pit, so it's
I
just gonna be
don't.
making sure you can fight off these angles that like Pleb has. He's watching with that mop. That's kind of the big issue
Ghetto's
here.
got the grenade, so let's. I mean, he's going to be kind of the key here because depending on which. Oh, that's a
Oh,
good tag though, and that's going to give the defenders the advantage here. And oh yeah, look at the the bees are swarming. They know it's going to be an Obs push.
yeah. If they could somehow get past, if they had smokes here, it'd be nice. But they only have flashes, so
Oh,
this
another
is gonna be straight up
great
fighting.
tag.
Oh, they grenade the barbed wire, but this Molotov's in the way. Tiggerman's trying to push up. Argo's got a knack there. Great shot from Flago. Take out Colin. Colin was weak point there. He only an AK. So that's big on them, but they still have the angle and observation. But with that kill, they probably want to back off because they don't want to, lose 2 people on this play. Explicit hanging out with the Elios, trying to take fights, at least do damage, and back off
Please
for
get
his
out of
team
there.
because
He's
he
gonna
wants to end
die.
it. He's running away. He's alive. No, he made it out. He made it out. That's big.
Power has been hit, and again,
Ooh.
a lot of 1v2s here from Yaokuza. Again, they've got like 3 guys that are like one sneeze away from dying, but that really doesn't matter as long as you can 2v1 one guy. It's happened twice now. Colin had to deal with it, Render's had to deal with it, and now X is gonna have to try and find a way to deal with it
Oh, Pleb's
because he's
dead.
about to get
That's huge.
collapsed.
Explicit, can he win it? No, he can't.
No
Like
way.
you were saying, though,
No way, Jose.
100%
Ghetto and
agree with
Tommy
you.
are still alive.
The issue with that round was Yakuza were playing as a full team, and then
Mhm.
Global Breakout were giving them 1v1s in a sense. But then they back off, and the next Yakuza member takes that fight with them, and they don't. Nobody dies.
Well, exactly. That's what I mean. Like first, you had the gunfight between Colin. That was a 1v2. Then Render tried to take this fight, but there was
Render's
again
playing here. He gets shot
1v2.
behind the column, and then
X
they
was
push
hiding
up.
in the corner.
The one thing that was interesting was when they denied that the bottom push from
Mhm.
Pit, and it was a 3v2 on site. That was the point where things could have changed because it became a one-side push for the attackers.
Right,
But
right.
in the end, because Explicit was underneath the stairs and he wanted a position to help out his teammate because his teammate's in the middle of jungle, that's the issue comes into play there is that he's waiting for a chance to use that, that Harry Potter position to sit behind underneath the stairs and wait for a trigger discipline to kill them all is the point where he's looking for. But because it's a 2v3, if you don't help your teammate, you're in a 1v3.
Well, and then even on top of that, once the attackers kind of fell past him, like they literally just jumped over him and
Yeah,
completely
that's the
ignored
point
the
he's
idea
waiting
he
for,
could
though.
get.
Yeah, that's the point.
He
He
should
wants to
have flushed
capitalize
that.
on
I
it.
mean, Tommy and Ghetto had like what 20 health combined,
Yeah,
and
but
he
the
had a
problem is,
knack, so it's not like you
yeah,
can.
but the problem is you're sitting behind 3 people. Even if
Yeah.
you kill one, you have to have the literal godlike reflexes to flick onto 2 people in a row.
Yeah, yeah, I'm very confident. These guys of this caliber, no questions whatsoever. We just saw that actually in the match versus
But then,
Gnomes versus
you're
LCG.
discounting Yakuza's ability to 180 and just shoot him in the face.
Well, again, at that point, it becomes a game of who can click faster, and so
Yeah,
far,
that's my issue. My issue is I don't want to get to that point. If you're in a situation where you're 2v3,
mm,
you should not be looking for that chance because you're not going to get that chance, in my opinion, at this level of play. At that point, it's better just to take the 2v3 and try to win those fights against the attackers where you know they're coming from at that point, rather than letting
well,
your other
yeah, and
teammate die.
then at that point, again, we would need to draw it back to when Colin was having to 1v2, then
Yeah,
X
it's
tried to
situations like
1v2
that. It
inside
should have been.
OBS. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, like,
it's
yeah.
situations like that where like Colin, if when Colin initially too, especially Colin, there's a situation where he's by himself
Mhm,
in pit and he knows there's multiple and the people in observation had backed off from his team. He
mhm.
probably should have backed off too.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. And that's again, I think that's where that communication comes in because I think Global Breakout is playing very independently of each other. We've seen that a few times now where it's again 1v2s or 1v2s, 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 but Yakuza is just rolling in like a wolf pack and just they are just devouring those opportunities like, "Oh, that's a free one. Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
5v1, 5v4, happy to take that. Yes, sir. May I have
It's
another?"
that it's that problem of support, being able to either support your players or tell your players to back off so that you
Mhm.
can take those gunfights as a team rather than taking them as 1v1, especially in open maps like Kill Dome, for God's sakes.
Yeah, absolutely. Jupiter Crusade here on Kill House is going to be the next location that we're going to be playing in. And again, I want to point this out. Yakuza is going in as a 5-man again.
Well,
I
Pleb's
don't
got a
think
good position here. He could try and support if he just pre-fires through the wall. Right there, perfect.
Clean, but doesn't... Does he catch anything, though? Not really.
He actually didn't catch any damage. He did a bit of damage to Tiga, man, but
Taiga?
that was it.
Yeah, that's about it.
That was unfortunate because that could have been a great
Full back
chance
up.
to just murder them all, really. But either way,
He's
it's good
still-
that Argo
I mean-
Argo backed off though, so that's the good thing. He's still alive.
Yeah, very okay. I like this though. Look at how they're kind of spaced out. They've got the Yakuza guys completely boxed in here, and there's now
the
no
scene
room
right
to
there.
escape.
That's perfect from Argo. Just that damage he did with the pre-fire.
Mhm. Now it's
And
gonna
now, yeah, now Yakuza's kind of like, what do they do here?
yeah, they're very much stuck. There's not a lot of utility left as well. One smoke. Oh, hello, pleb. Bye,
But
pleb.
was that the play from Pleb though?
No. He needed to just box them in and.
Yeah.
Well,
He
hello.
should've waited.
Okay. Here comes the smoke and here comes the
team
push.
fight.
Absolute dominance as
Render.
the Yakuzos just
Render.
walk in. Render.
Render! Can you get it?
He doesn't. Tiger didn't realize.
Renders and that was a perfect play from Render there, but it's a 1v1 now with 30 seconds. Flago still has a bit of time and he has the AK in hand though. Render's got to play as well. And no, he can't win the
Oh,
fight, unfortunately. Oh, what a
he
turnaround
climbed
from
on the
Render.
couches to get the line of sight on him.
Yeah, that was a perfect that was the perfect play just to trigger discipline. He waited for the perfect time to take that fight. And you saw he went two people on his left. Explicit and Colin trying to help him out in that situation because there was a team fight just running on site and he almost made it happen. Almost.
Render just turned into like a shoebox next to that bomb, and just I thought he was dead because I just saw a
No,
bunch of
I thought I
bodies.
said Render like 3 times because he was still sitting
Yeah,
in that corner.
look, yo, my man just pulled out a comic book and just kind of just took a hot minute and was like, yeah, this is happening. It's no big deal. It's no
But
big
really,
deal.
in that situation though, if Pleb was still alive, they could have won
Yeah,
that ground. That to me, that was the
yeah.
issue was Pleb swung that for what reason?
Again, Pleb swung that because he was confident in his abilities, not the team's. He was confident in his abilities to get the pick, but that
Oh,
wasn't
I
the
mean,
right move
wait, so
for the
is
team.
ego now an issue?
Yes, again, the robot bleeds, and when it starts to bleed, it makes mistakes.
This is an issue right now? But hey, well, so far we've gotten 2 rounds so far for Yakuza on their attack on this next set. That's big, but again, it's maybe a bit too early in the set to say that. Depends on the mental game from Global Breakout. We go back to
Absolutely.
bank here, and this is a very different bank though. This is a bank with a button that's kind of full in range to be picked.
And this is where I would love to see a wall charge here from the Yakuza players, frankly. This is kind of,
You
yep,
like
there it
that?
is. There's
You
our
supposed to
boy.
say
Okay.
you mean that Walter?
Yep, there it is. Usually when you've got the button in the main lobby, that's kind of the call to say, okay, we're gonna just go for button. They're gonna have
Oh,
the
can you
clear tellers.
grenade this actually too? Can you grenade this?
Where this area right here, this
Yeah, the
lobby area?
lobby. Yeah. Can you like destroy
Um,
these?
it can
I
be. I
think.
know it can be destroyed, and I think a grenade would do it. But I don't think that you can place like a door charge or anything like that to try
Yeah,
and
no, no. So
clear it.
you would grenade this if you want to get through this though, right? So if you wanted to push like this
Yeah,
instead of pointing out.
you could. I would almost say on inversely, you've got all of these windows here, so you could also
Mhm.
just as easily just smoke, and then this entire area is completely blinded,
Well,
and
I
they
think
would
the
not be
issue is
able.
they don't. The issue is just peek people this way, right? So if you just open this up, they can just
Yes.
go left, take a right, and go over through there.
Well, and again, that kind of depends on how Yakuza want to play it out because they can try and just kind of block off this entire eastern side, or they can try and lock down the little security door. I don't think
Mhm.
that security is going to be nearly that much of a threat, if you will, because yeah, you can already see it here. They'll have visual of anyone that's sitting in security. They'll have to obviously worry about the little metal detector, which you can shoot through. But again, once you get a wall charge placed down, then it's just a matter of kind of making sure anyone that's in here gets flashed and cleaned, and then making sure anyone deep inside accounting. Okay, that is a healthy amount of barbed wire. That's one grenade's best dream right there. But oh, we've got some sneaky boys. We've got some real sneaky boys on Yakuza. They're gonna go for they're gonna go the no they're gonna go for yeah they're gonna go for red.
It looks like they are. So Explicit's gonna be the first one to deal with it. He's got a Molotov in hand though, and he's got barbed wire as well. Looks like he's ready for a chance though. He's gonna
Not
throw the
ready.
Molotov. Flago might jump through it though. And actually, no, he put the barbed wire down. Colin's now pushed up. Flash to make clear a
I respect the
bathroom.
bathroom
Explicit
check.
picks out. They get the kill though. Flago, no, not cool. He's getting shot from behind though. They're gonna pre-fire in tellers, and Flago's gonna make his way right into lobby. Maybe a bit too early. He gets picked off by Colin, who's been playing lobby.
This is a very uncomfortable way to kind of put Global Breakout into a position. Look at Argo. He's just kind of sitting here almost AFK in the weird spot. X is fighting for his freaking life over here as he's just in this really weird spot. Great Molotov to try and slow down Tiger. He's going to get toasted
Do
just
they
a little
know
bit, but
he's here?
Photon
Oh my
going to
gosh.
say hi and bye to Explicit's life.
Yep, he's dead as heck. Now it's Plebdo and Argo trying to bring this back. They have the stuff to do the auto shotting in hand. If Argo can make good use of that, he could try and bring this back for his team. But it depends on how they want
They're
to do
going
it.
to
They're
want
gonna
to get
turn
right
that
inside
button
Vault,
on.
I think. That
Yeah, and just with the way the vault is, you can play
Yeah,
back of vault pretty well. It depends on the utility left for the attack. They still have a lot of
double
flashes in
Molotov
hand.
as well. But
Yeah,
no,
so this
they're
really
going
come
to they're
down
going
to
to stick
time. If
with
they can
counting.
waste enough time, Argo. Oh, dude, Ghetto's by himself. Argo's about to fire him out of here. He is so dead.
Let's see because it's gonna. I think he has to kick the door. Yeah, he's got to kick the door. He's a goner.
He's dead. Dude,
Yep.
he's dead. Oh, now it's just
And
Argo though.
okay. Oh
Oh, the
god, that
flash is
flash
going.
is gonna be
No,
so
Argo. He's
good,
not in the
Argo.
vault. Oh, they have no
No, Argo
clue.
didn't get. Okay, there he goes. Now he's flashed, and he's. Oh my
He's
goodness,
still
this is a weird
what? He's
fight.
still alive? Oh my god. I
Fighting
was
for his
surprised he
life
was still
with that
alive in
auto
this
shotty.
situation. What just happened?
Well, so I thought that the initial flash that was like right here landed and got him, but then he like perfectly directed himself into that little cubby. Tommy had to reflash him just to make sure he was dead. finally he got flashed, and then they had that weird little collision fight because
Well,
attackers and defenders
initially,
don't
the entire play was very weird, though. They just push through the red door. They're walking and clearing everything,
let it
clearing the
work.
bathroom, just clearing, trying to clear tellers. They
Yeah.
didn't clear tellers until later on, but then they walk into lobby. Collins there takes a fight. He wins one initially, loses one after that, and it just seemed like initially it wasn't too bad for Yakuza. Well, not for I mean for Global Breakout. Global Breakout does some trades in the beginning, but then from there, when it came to pushing tellers and pushing the rest of the players who weren't
It
traded
got
out,
uncomfortable for Global Breakout though.
yeah, that's what I'm saying though, because once they got because that's the issue. The issue is that once they got into the building,
Mhm.
the most of the players after those initial trades were isolated, super isolated. They're all just kind of
Yeah,
on their own
absolutely.
taking fights, and in the end, it was kind of like the last two players sure are together, but they're the last two players, and then there's still four players alive on the side of Yakuza.
Right, right. Well, and again, I think I'm not surprised that they chose to just try and stick it out in accountings because I mean the Yakuza guys had more than enough flash to just hard flash inside of a vault and just kind of clear them out, but it was just uncomfortable. But I also want to point this out because this is really important here. Yakuza is going to be the first to get onto match point. So Global Breakout have to be perfect for the rest of this series to tie.
Could
Yakuza
be.
just
Hey,
needs them once, and then that's game.
hey, that's been though. It's been one sided. Everyone's been winning their side so far in this match. So it could be
Yeah.
another 3-0 half for for the side of Global Breakout on their attack. Could be.
It's the situation kind of like in the WWE matches or even in like MMA sometimes when both fighters get a hold of each other and they just start throwing haymakers at their faces like one just 3-0, other guy 3-0, other guy 3-0 and they're just slamming each other with these rounds which if any other team was playing in this situation, they would have cracked in the first half. But we have Yakuza versus Global Breakout again for the finals here almost what the chance for $300 or 150. Either way, someone's got to take first and someone's going to have to be second.
Well, that's so far how it looks like at least this time. So Global Breakout looking to actually use some utility on this map compared to what we saw from the side of Yakuza. They just kind of green doored it, stuck to their guns, saved and pushed through. But it looks like Global Breakout actually want to use their utility, use one of those hard breach charges, and push their way in through that red door by the bottom of jungle. So now it's gonna be up to. But the problem is, see, here my issue is. The issue
Mhm.
now is going to come into play. So they push this bottom jungle, and if they don't have someone
It's
go for
double
another play,
red.
because even if they go for their play, there's someone. It's such a long trek to
Mhm.
get into the building, to get close to somebody to deal with somebody, that at this point they just got to deal. It's going to be a competitive fight of who can kill Tiga Man or who the Saber versus the Mob. Who can win that fight? Is my opinion. At that point,
Right, right. Well, we'll have. Okay, there we go. So Pleb is going to kind of bait like it's a jungle push, while that allows the rest of their team. Photon's going to call it though. He's going to see Render here, starting to get his rotate going through. So Fleb is going to be kind of the odd man out here, but he's got the saber. He's got one of the most. He has the most powerful weapon for the attackers, and he's going to be trying to kind of like force the Yakuza guys into this weird little sandwich situation. And all Floggle has to do is just make sure that he doesn't get that opportunity.
yeah. So Flago's kind of the big man in to stop Pleb. Photon here is by himself, like we saw from Colin as well. He probably needs to back off if he gets pushed too many times. But again, Tommy's here to try and support him. He's got a Molotov in hand. The barbed wire's still there too, and there's no grenades being brought. Well, actually, one by Argo, so Argo can destroy that. Explicit push through is Collins get through. It's a two on one,
Oh,
two Photon.
it's a repeat all over again.
Yeah,
Photon
same
caught
issue.
out guard.
Same exact issue. Tommy at this point, he's getting a flash. He probably should run away, back
Yeah,
off.
there's the flash, and now Tommy's gonna. No, actually, Tommy's gonna
No,
stay.
Tommy's
Hang
gonna
on.
stay alive. He's gonna stay inside observation, and Argo's gonna push it, but Argo's by himself, so Tommy can still win this fight. Well, it looks like Tommy's gonna take some heavy fire.
Oh, he
He's
got hard
flashed once
flashed.
again.
Yep.
He is dead. Flago also lost his fight to Pleb, so now Pleb is the bottom of jungle.
All that's left is Ghetto, and he's got an absolute mountain to climb. And there he goes. But this could be absolutely huge. Taiga Man gonna be giving up Mop to Argo. How many shots does that man now have? I'm on his POV right now just to see how many he's got.
I can't tell
He's
yet. No. He's got. I can't tell. He didn't put the out. Like he got out.
he's running around with the secondary. I want to see.
But yeah, no. This is just a substantial start to Global Breakout's attack that could just landslide the rest of it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And we
All
see
right,
the
we're
same
gonna.
issues from the Yakuza's defense, where they're one man trying to hold observation, one man trying to hold the bottom of pit by themselves. They get flashed, two men on them, they're dead.
Yeah, and again, I want to. It's like I'm watching Deja Vu. Okay, he's got three, not including the one, or including the one in the rifle right now. So he's got two extra, one in the chamber.
That's not a lot
It's
of
like we were
shots.
watching Deja Vu. Photon got flat, or I thought he got flashed. He ran out and
He
then
definitely got
ran
no. He
back
definitely got
in.
flashed. He
Yeah.
got flashed trying to I think he got flashed and ran back in by accident because he didn't know where he was going.
Oh, that sucks. Okay, yeah,
He
that
was just
makes
he
sense
didn't know
because
where he was.
'cause I was like, "Okay, you got out, then you ran back in? 1v2'd? Okay," and then Tommy's running he got f partially flashed, and then he ran into the wall, but then he chose to stay, and I was like, Just back off. You need to protect your mop guy. Your mop guy's got obs on lock. Like, there's no reason for you to be, watching observation. You've got a short you got Gruber, come on."
And then unfortunately, Flog also lost his fight against Pleb on the bottom of
Mhm,
jungle. So bottom of jungle now in control of Pleb, who has the saber in hand and can just take shots on Tiga, take
exactly.
shots on Ghetto, who's playing inside jungle. So that's that point that I have issue with. Like we talked about from a little breakout standpoint. It's same thing here happening so far for Yakuza. But we'll see if they can change something. Because like you said, they only need one round, but we see how difficult it seems to
How
be for
difficult, yeah.
defenses to get one round in this set. Really more than anything, just the other side of the half, both on both sets to get that one round.
Well, this one's gonna be interesting because this is the first time that we're really seeing global breakout. Oh, there it is. Okay, I was curious because the Yakuza guys were talking, and you saw how they were kind of drawing a whole bunch of stuff here in hallway, almost like they were expecting global breakout to go for this like backstage wall charge into club site to give them this kind of very interesting line of sight for a crossfire, and then allow them to kind of work their way into bomb. And it almost again they're reading each other. They're reading each other to such an extent that it's almost, like, scary how well
I told
they
you,
can
man. I
kind of
told you.
plan these things.
If they're gonna beat the cyborgs like you told them to be, it would be counter stratting. It
Yep,
would be
yep.
counter stratting, and that's exactly what they're doing. And they're doing it well. They're doing it to the best. It hasn't worked out quite so well.
It's not always gonna be perfect because, again, every time you beat Skynet, it gets a little bit smarter, but all they have to do is just get it one time. All they need they've got 2 more chances. This is one of them. They got 2 more chances to get it right one time and get themselves over the finish line and take the first round. But
Well,
with that being said, they've got an absolute mountain to climb because oh, hang on. We don't have Mop being taken here for Global Breakout, so
you
they're gonna
said
be
it only had
safe.
3 shots. It only had 3 shots though. I don't think he's gonna
3
pick it up
shots
with
is
three
still an
shots.
insta kill for,
Well, I would say
on
the issue is just the way the map is. You think you're not gonna want to bring the mop with 3 shots in a map this kind of caliber, in my opinion, with the amount of CQC in it.
it is, but then, I mean, obviously,
If
Saber
they're
has
going
the
for
the
this play through the main door and
Oh, yeah,
pushing
they
straight
definitely
into
are, yeah, and
backstage,
then you
yeah.
should have,
I don't think a mop here
Argo.
is a good point to be pushing it like this.
There it is. Render's got the, yeah, wall charge, so they're gonna be doing it. Floggle with the auto shotty.
Oh,
Good
so
Molotov
Flago
just to
here is
kind
the
of
main
buy some
point.
time.
Oh, if he just pushes the window, Argo's right there. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Again, this is always a funny thing. The one's right around the corner. There
Oh,
it is.
there
He
it is!
pushes one. Colin goes down two to Tiga Man. Great shots in both members. That was through the
This
wall for
could
Tiga
be
Man.
it.
Tiga Man pre-fired it through the wall, kills him,
Mhm.
and now it's the last 3 members who at this point are like, do we still
The
push this?
robots broke. The machine, they're dividing by 0 now, and they don't know what to do. They're mag dumping walls. Oh,
Oh,
they
hey, Photon killed.
Photon, calm down. It's just a game, son. You're not that
Oh, hey,
guy.
at this point, it's a 3v3. It's a 3v4 though. So at this point, it's really on the side of Yakuza
They
to screw it up, to make a mistake, to let them back in here.
But Global Breakout they need to stop. They're trying again. They're trying to grind themselves through this. They're trying to say, I don't care that we're down a guy. We're still gonna do it. But
Well, no, what
that
Pleb's got to be
doesn't
positioned
work.
though.
Render just ran in, assuming hallway was clear. It's not clear. No one flashed for you. That's so basic. I know this. Come on.
Well,
And
you said that,
now
but they're in a position like this, and again, like you said, it's the mental fortitude.
X.
You say that
Oh my
this because you're from
god.
watching from a observer's
He's
point of
gonna get
view.
Molotov.
Of course, yeah, he's getting multiple.
He's
He's dead.
gonna
But no, I tell you right now, you can't freak out too much. You can't mull too much because again, you're not in their position. You're not playing for
Oh,
$300 in the grand finals here on page. It's tough. It
but
is
it's so
the
simple that
pressure,
even I know that when you
but
hit a
it's
wall
simple.
like
But
that, you
when you're
have to
playing the
find
situation,
another way. That is simple.
you say simple, but you're not in their position though. You
I've
can't say that.
been. I have I mean, not to this extent. I've never played
Exactly,
for
not to this
Global
extent. That's
Breakout.
the point, though. That's the point. Not to this
But
extent.
this is Global Breakout. They are, again, in
But
my
that's the
opinion.
point. It's again, it's a challenge of mental fortitude to be able to have someone calm you down. Because again, you can tell from the way they're playing, they're emotional. When you're in that
Yeah,
state,
Render
it's
ran
hard
in
to
with a
make
wall charge by himself. I mean,
exactly.
what the heck
That's
was
it.
that?
That's the point. It's emotions. Emotions get range. You lose control of things. It's not easy to calm yourself down. That's why an
Mm,
IGL is so important. IGLs are probably the most important part of these teams because they are the people that can then calm down those players who do get emotional, who do get frustrated and make mistakes, and tell them to take a second, figure things out. But that's also too. These are a new game, new teams who are figuring things out. Sure, they're the best at the moment, but they're not the best. They're not perfect. by any means.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So that's the
It's
conversation. It's still growing. They're still figuring things out. It's nobody's perfect here, but in the end, it's still a map win for Yakuza
yeah,
or
but I was
for
gonna say it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, Yakuza took first round against Global
That's hey, that's
Breakout.
hey, but still, it's not over yet though. It's a best of 3. We're still going.
Uh,
It's a
Again,
best of
momentum.
3,
That's gonna
but
give.
momentum hey, but see, in these games like this, map to map, momentum doesn't mean anything here though. As long as you have the ability to mental reset, it's still a game. It's
I
still
don't know.
one
I
map,
strongly disagree
one
with
match.
that. And for the sole sense that Global Breakout hasn't really felt this kind of pressure, I think, in a hot minute. And so if Yakuza can take even the first two rounds in the next match and then or the next set, and then do that on both attack and defense, that is going to break the cogs inside Global Breakout so badly that all Yakuza has to do is just run 7-4. If we were seeing like a 7-5, okay, that's pretty close. But seven
But
four, that's a
7-4 is not
message
the
at this level.
I don't think 7-4 is the big of a deal because 7-5 is the end of the game at that point though. That's every single round possible.
Mhm.
7-4 is only 1 round difference. To me, it's not that
Again,
crazy,
that's what we're looking at. We're looking at a one round difference here.
but that's the thing. It's not that crazy, man. I think there's still like you said before, if we go into the next match and there's a landslide to start this off, sure, I'm probably worried about below break at that point. But there's still a chance here in this break to take a second, mental reset, and play the next match. It's not over yet. There's still time. You can't be throwing
Absolutely.
out the window immediately like this.
With that being said, though, let's look in here. Obviously, again, Yakuza were the first here in this best of three to draw Global Breakout's blood. And now it's going to be a matter of getting themselves situated. I believe, I don't know if we'll be taking a quick break ourselves. Um, Looks like everyone is kind of still going. Let me see that side of the chat. Yeah, no, that was huge. I mean, there was a lot of really big plays. Render. I mean, again, it was a great move on Killhouse to try and clutch that out. It's a shame that it didn't work because that was such a great little kind of mole spot for him to sit. Then again, we saw on what was it, Factory when Plebdo came out huge against Taiga with the mop. Really big opportunity there, and a few other kind of just key moments where again, I want to bring it back. I feel like Yakuza are playing like a pack of wolves compared to these individuals on Global Breakout.
It depends. I can see both ways because we still saw some of the issue when it came to Yakuza's first defenses on that second set. So
Mhm.
it's I don't think it's quite in set just at the moment, but I do agree with you that there are times when Global Breakout are making plays, solo plays, where they shouldn't be at times, where they
Well, like
need to
for
have
example,
someone with them.
you pointed out with Killhouse when Pleb like just rotated.
Yes, those are times where those are exactly those times where
Hmm.
there are times where your dual breaker are doing that, and it's costing them people, even though they sometimes win those rounds. It's costing them some of those times where they could have made a difference. And we go back to that last round right there. Sure, it wasn't much of a solo play, but then my issue is the fact that they just aren't flexible enough to change a strat up. And that strat where they had right there was just very one-sided, one-side focused. There was no
Hmm.
other moves to the plan. So all that Yakuza had to do is just sit outside at that one entrance and focus all on that one entrance. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
we need to see a little bit more depth to the strat.
and that's where I'm curious to see when Global Breakout's going to realize that Yakuza have not really been all that creative. I would say
Nope,
almost in their
not at all. They're
execution.
just playing as a team.
They're playing as a
This is
team, but
yeah.
it's always five through the door.
But that's the point, that's the
They
point.
they haven't caught on that yet.
That's almost like this other side of the spectrum though. Rather than have
Mhm.
like, 2 people go here or 3 people go here, it's all 5 go one
It's
angle.
all
You're
5.
gonna take
Yeah.
you're gonna take 5 or 2v1, 3v1, 2v2, 3v2 gunfights, and they're gonna come out on top. That's kind of that's a different play style. It's interesting to see people with
Yeah.
different play styles like that.
Exactly. It's yeah. And it looks like we were actually I'm gonna have to refresh spam a whole bunch of times to do it, but we are gonna be going straight into our next round here. So real quick, Benny, give me what's the key thing for both teams that they need to kind of focus on for this next match to kind of get the upper hand on their opponent. Let's start with Global Breakout.
Global Breakout, I really believe at this point after watching that first match, it's come to that initial part. They need to have an early round start where they need to be
Mhm.
just aware of what the teams do, the enemy's doing. If you're going into a match or going into a strat into a map, and you lose someone early, or you think that there's too much pressure or too much utility in one place, you need to somehow figure things out and change it up. Because at that point, you're walking into what the defense is expecting entirely.
Okay. And Yakuza.
Yakuza for me, for last map, really,
Mhm.
it just seemed like at on defense, certain defenses, I feel like they were just again, like we saw from Global Breakout, though, is those singular mans, those solo plays where people weren't
Mhm.
backing off when they needed to.
So it almost sounds like the reoccurring theme I think we're seeing for both teams is playing as a group. I mean, obviously it's a team-based game, but playing as a group is almost what's catching them out, and it's whenever they find the one guy on either team that isn't playing as the team. They catch that guy, they eat him alive, and then they move right on to the
Well,
rest
that
of
yeah, but see,
their squad.
that's kinda like the, the part of attack, though. That's what they should be doing, really, because and then it's like it's both ways kinda thing. It's like it's one thing where, like, the attack needs to find and isolate those players, but it's also on the defense to know when you're being isolated, when to back off to, bring it back to your team and play with that
Right, right.
support. So, it's kinda like that kind of thing, though. You gotta figure things out. You gotta feel for things, like, when we saw, like you talk about, like, Pleb, when he swings that for whatever reason, not knowing
Mhm,
what's really going on, or when we had the players inside of, Yakuza side, when they're playing observation or playing the bottom of pit,
mhm.
and they get pushed despite being flashed, they still stay in observation or stay where they are and don't retreat.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Pax Abbott is gonna be our first map here on Factory,
Also, I'm not connected
and
yet, so I'm waiting. So
well, sorry?
you gotta give me you gotta tell me what's going on. Actually, I can watch it actually here. What is
Oh,
happening?
yeah, as I say, Simber is doing,
Yeah,
he's
yeah, I
sharing
see
it
it
to his
here.
screen. Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, we're
I
on,
I got you.
you
Benny, I
got
ain't gonna
me.
ever leave you in the cold, baby. I got you.
Should I hit the
Got you,
spectate button
homie.
again? Because it's not in the game.
Um, yeah, just hit the refresh button and then just try and click on the spectate until you see at the top left it says connecting to game. If that doesn't
Okay,
work,
there we go.
then
Now
you
it
can
works.
either at least until you get connected, just utilize Simber, or you can just crash out, restart the game, and then you should be able to reconnect. But
Okay, I'm good.
either
Yeah, I'm
way,
good now.
okay, solid, solid, solid. So, oh, there's the dash. You got left on red. So setting up here, we've got ourselves Mop and Saber. So this is one thing I always like to bring up. The second map or the second set in a series is always the one where both teams have now woken up, at least in terms of gameplay. They've gotten a feel for each other. Well, I mean, wall bangs, good old stuff. But now we're gonna really see the A game of both teams, and the fact already that we've got four in a one, four through the red and one through the green, but these barbs are set up almost like they were expecting a fan play. So right off the bat, I mean, look at this. They still have three people watching fan, but no one's really respecting this red door.
Well,
Yeah,
there
no,
is somebody by the trucks though, so Photon's probably gonna be the person to alert them if it really becomes that play. But here's the thing: the power is so isolated though. That's such a you can literally
oh,
not
it's
play
easy.
power
Yeah,
at
there you
all.
go.
That's so easy to take. So now depends on the what are the flares like? Is there countermeasures from Yakuza for this play? Now Argo does go to the fans. The fan
Gets
now is a
dinged.
thing from them. Look at there's a flare on pipes. There's a couple of flares here
Oh,
and there. Down goes Argo. So there goes one part of that plan goes out the window. So now it's kind of a one-sided push from the side of Global Breakout. Now they only have control of Boiler, and they got to make something
Render
out of that.
wants
They
to
got to
try and.
push through.
Okay, never mind. I was supposed to say, I think Render was running up like he wanted to try and nade Photon, but that thankfully the robots decided not to do that, and
Did they
they
get
are
open? Oh, they get. Did they get open? No, they didn't get open fan. Did they?
no.
Okay, so explicit's going
Oh,
towards fan.
Tommy's yeah. X should hear Tommy trying to do this, and okay, there we go. They're trying to they're setting up, and like you, yeah, they were trying to figure out how they can get themselves through this.
Oh,
And now that
you
power's
brought the
down,
game
obviously
open.
they can sneak into fan. So X is able to get in there, but look at how these global breakout guys are still just kind of clustered up here. I really don't like this. They're not spacing out like they really need to be.
Yeah, no, this is
Oh,
kind of they're all together, but
Floggle,
they're winning these
hello.
fights though.
There's still two players
Yeah.
alive. Taiga just needs to survive another probably about 10-ish seconds, and that's all
Ooh,
he
nice
needs.
shot.
He
He's
just
got
needs
the
to
mop
buy
in
time
hand.
now. I believe there is a flare to watch him, and
Oh
he just
no,
needs to
wait.
survive another
Oh,
4-ish seconds. There's the defuse to kind of get this party
oh,
started.
he doesn't even
He's
ammo
got
left. He's
himself a
with a
pistol. Oh,
pistol.
so close.
I don't think he had
Well
any ammo
done
left.
from Pleb.
He might have been out of mop ammo.
Again, I'm very confused by Floggle's decision to try and go up there to almost go shopping on Explicit's body as if like I think he wanted to get the NVGs, but why get that? There was a flare that Taiga could have thrown for him on docks to see where the attackers were coming from, but he ended up playing. I'm almost throwing himself away for that.
That was interesting. Yeah, I don't know if he knew that someone was gonna go that way. That's why he did it. But I do agree that was kind of odd to go up there in that sense. But I would say at least it was close at the end there. It sucks that I believe he was out of mop ammo. That's why he brought the pistol out, so he couldn't
Mhm.
take that fight. Because if he had mop ammo, he could have probably won that fight because he had the defuse anyway. So, but I would do agree that was kind of a waste because they had the man advantage in that moment too.
Yeah,
They just had to
they
play their
had the
angles
time
and
too.
wait.
There's only like what it was like 15 seconds once who was it? Pleb finally got onto bomb. They just needed to just pinch him.
Yeah, that point is yeah, especially when he gets to that point too. Like, well, even then, like, if before that in that initial gunfight, if he was alive, he probably could have helped his teams win that fight too. Because you saw
Mhm.
the last members on Global Breakout were just pushing it as a team though, so it was kind of like they're firing on multiple members inside of Factory, winning those fights as they go through, leaving Tiger Man by himself inside office because he wasn't really initially, he had cover to take that fight. So I do agree. If he had been alive, it would have probably been a very different story.
Absolutely. But Global Breakout take the first round. We do have a pause coming out, so a little bit of some technical issues, but that's fine because that buys us some time to not only have further discussions about short Olympus, not long Olympus, big Olympus, or square Olympus, but more of like an octagonal Olympus. 2-2, and where's our fourth? There's our fourth. He's or our fifth, excuse me. He's gonna be sitting Breezeway. How do you think Yakuza can try and kind of stave off this energy? Again, my biggest concern is once the machines get their death ball rolling, it's kind of hard to stop that global breakout pressure.
It's me again. It's too early to be calling that kind of thing because we just started this match. We just started these maps so far, but I will say for this one so far, it seemed like last round, a lot better when it came to playing as a team from the side of Global Breakout. It's
Mhm.
good to see from them. They're playing as a team. They're trying to go take fights as two or three members together, not just one and one taking fights. But for this one, really, yeah, for Yakuza, for this match too, for this bomb site, this is kind of weird because you have the bomb just kind of middle by about breezeway. I've
Right.
seen people being able to long arm this on the side, so I wonder at that point, should you really just full hold on office, or should you just play brick house at that point?
Well, I think that's why they want to have their saber kind of watching this angle, so that way they can kind of protect their guys. Also, he can kind of swing and cover brick just in case, because the bomb is facing the breezeway side.
Yeah, but
So
you can like long arm on the side though. It's kind of the issue. So if you
right,
long
right.
arm from the side, you can't see it from brick house.
And that's it's gonna be let's just see how these guys decide to spawn in here, because I
Yeah,
do think that I don't think that we're gonna be seeing a lot of play on the eastern side. I mean, we might have like one or two guys to try and kind of stem them and hold off the initial, assault from potential
yeah. I don't know.
reception.
This map so far, I feel like this map so far doesn't seem very defender friendly.
No, 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 no. There's a breezeway right off the bat. No,
Yeah.
right
There's
off
the
the bat.
breezeway. Office isn't exactly very fun to play, and it seems very claustrophobic.
Well, so what might most likely happen is you'll probably have a good majority of your guys trying to kind of stack up in these large kind of areas. You'll have maybe like a 3-2, maybe one guy sitting in lockers, and then having some guys to kind of try and watch long, and then maybe even pinch the guy that's trying to saber from breezeway. That'll give you a lot more kind of freedom. The biggest issue is just trying to lock down one piece of this three-piece map, and then you'll be good to go. It's just a matter of, again,
Yeah, I don't know.
figuring
To me,
out
it seems like the
where to
biggest
push.
issue is going to be stopping this locker push into the office. Really,
Mhm.
for Yakuza, they have the auto shotty. Of course, you can see Tommy has the auto shotty out, so that could be the big part for me. Is if they can somehow stem this push or make it like where it doesn't nearly as effective, and then just push off Brickhouse and deny the saber. This could be a good round for Yakuza. To me, it's just this full part right here. This part right here is the main part that needs to happen for Yakuza to
Yes.
win this round.
Well, and we've seen it before where barbed wire, you get one Molotov and then the entire
Mhm.
push just kind of stops. And this is just kind of the death room, really, because
Yeah,
I've seen
yeah.
it multiple times where you'll have like 4 or 5 guys stacked up. You might have like two defenders still alive, one Molotov, and then like a KR, and this entire room is just an absolute nightmare. So again, as you mentioned, trying to keep lockers cover, but again, we do have Floggle and Taiga here to try and watch the eastern side. Again, maybe try and bleed. There's the lockers push. Do we have anything too wild and crazy? No, not really. It doesn't look like they're going to be trying to utilize that saber again. So play there with that black tar. I kind of like this.
So now
Again,
we
at
see
least
you're gonna
having
see
someone to
Argo and
pressure
them.
breezeway. You might be able to get a pick if you're watching, this angle here.
Yeah, it depends. So Argo's pushing in with a shotgun though, and he's gonna try and grenade out this. Tommy
Oh,
goes down with that
no,
is huge.
sir.
Losing your auto shuttle early, that is a problem now for them. And there's four people in lockers. Someone has to flank. Yakuza needs to make a play off of this to try and bring this back though, because once they have to push through and they take all these members, especially because you have the tar on the other side, they're just stuck in here. They're just that is a death trap.
Well, again, and that's why I think it would have been kind of more priority for them. Oh, Photon tries to get the wall bang.
Ooh.
Oh, no, Floggle does, though. Okay, there we go. I was going to say, trying to get rid of the guy that's going to be watching your breezeway. Once they get rid of that, then Photon's got a better chance,
Oh
but
no.
Photon's just struggling, and X is trying to sniff for a rotate that isn't coming, but they've
Nah,
got
Tiggy,
control over
it's
bomb.
over at this point. There's no way to do it. Oh, he can still kill him though, but
Yeah,
can they
don't
long arm
call
it?
it over just yet. The long arm does exist, but
Yep.
he's got
Yep.
an absolute
Yeah.
challenge to try and get, though.
Yeah, like I was saying before, once like you saw Tommy die and it was Photon
Yeah.
by himself, I think because Ghetto got picked off by the
Mhm.
tar,
Mhm.
someone from that point from Yakuza had the flank. You had to make a play off of that because at that point they're just gonna swarm the last person on site because he's being cut off from the breezeway. He's getting pushed with the auto shotty because he picks up the auto shot of Tommy. And from there, it's almost impossible for Photon to keep himself alive. And at that point, once they have control office, you can't deny it from Brick House. There has
Right.
to be a flank. Has to be some kind of
Absolutely.
play to change that up.
Well, and that's the challenge of a map like that when,
That
it's
map
it's
was just
a little bit awkward. It's just a little bit awkward, and yeah,
That's why
you
I
get
can't call it early because maps like that, like I would not want to defend that map.
Well, they're gonna have to, and we'll have to see something different from them unless they wanna just try and
Yeah.
stick it and again, try and go for that
What is this?
absolutely
Kildo.
well, this is Galahad's Excalibur, also known as sit in the castle and just pray to not get wall banged.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. What the heck?
So, what are we going on here? Obviously, you need to have a few guys sit in castle just to kind of keep priority. This is kind of just like with Bank, where
That
it's
wall
gonna
charge is
come
interesting.
down to the defenders being flexible. This map,
Well, see,
you
this wall
can't.
charge could change everything though. They could wall
Oh,
charge in the
absolutely.
castle.
You can't defend every single corner and every single angle with the guys you got. And also, you got a nice little sweep pull, which is kind of neat. But trying to just figure out where they're going to be coming from, information, information, and information. You got to know where they're coming from, and then the other two guys you'll probably have again. You'll have one, two, and then maybe a third sitting like back here to watch this long angle. As soon as you realize where the rest of the team's coming, your other two guys can come in and
Oh, hey,
support.
hey, they're calling out Melvin. They're calling him a traitor.
Yeah, that's yeah, yeah. That's
Wait,
because
wait,
Melvin
did I
is a
miss
traitor.
something? What did
And
Melvin say?
so in yesterday's series,
Yeah,
Melvin
yeah.
was going after.
What
So he
happened?
was going after Lind on
Yeah.
LCG, giving him a whole bunch
Ah.
of props and everything, saying, "Oh, LCG, no problem, easy." And then they got sent to third or to
So you're
the
basically
third.
telling me Melvin's a biased caster, you're telling me.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, there's a little bit of bias coming from Melvin. He was super on LCG side, and then
Wow.
that didn't
He's only
work
been
out.
casting for like 2 days. He's already biased already? Man, Melvin, shake my head. Shake my head.
Yeah, 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 bias casters. So yeah, Global Breakout's gonna be trying to move in on this attack here. But yeah, okay. So we got the two in the castle. Got one guy gonna be sitting back. Again, it's gonna really come down to
Argo
how.
has the auto shoddy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. He's
What
he's gonna be
the
he's gonna be our castle conga boy. They're gonna
If they
come
can
in here.
open that wall up,
Mhm.
he's gonna wreck shop.
Oh, that's the thing, and that's why you see Taiga and Photon are playing so back. They don't really have a reason to contest beach. It's going to be a matter of just holding castle, because if they can hold castle, then again, it's free reign all over this base side.
So at
But
that point, like, yeah, it looks like the diesel, but Yakuza at this point are just trying to close this side of the map pretty much,
yes,
this corner of the
yeah,
map.
it's gonna again. They Yakuza is doing exactly what they did on Factory. They're waiting for Global Breakout to come in, and then they're gonna just start feathering them.
Oh, the
Great
flash.
flash. Taiga is a goner. Three
Ooh,
in
good
though,
for
but that
Molotov.
Molotov is clean, and
Woo.
Taiga stays alive.
Oh, Ghetto's in a great place too. If Ghetto can play
Oh,
off the
Argo's gonna
Molotov
get
too.
toasty.
Oh,
No.
Argo though, he gets through. Oh, he makes it through. What? Oh, refrag.
Okay.
Thank God for the refrag. And the Molotovs once again are there, so it's stopping the initial push. And this is the same issue with Global Breakout. Having so maybe they're gonna push. Ghetto's to go. Ghetto's getting heavy push. Team fights galore. Render's pushing up by himself though. Is Photon stay alive? No,
Photon's
he's
caught in the
flash. He's
reload.
blind as all heck. He can't stay alive. Ghetto's holding off the pit push. Colin's gonna make way outside of castle and maybe go with pleb to make a jungle push instead because
Well,
this castle push is bloody and they killed everybody too as well.
Tommy's off in the corner, and Colin is just gonna chase him
Oh, what
down, and
they're
they've got him. Yeah, they've got him locked down
they're
in that
dead,
corner.
yeah.
I think that, I mean, all things considered, that was probably the best. The only thing that really kind of hosed them was when Argo actually got in pretty close with that auto shot. He didn't kill anybody, but he stressed him
No,
out
no,
to
no, he killed
utilize.
I think he killed Tikkaman, didn't he?
Oh, okay, yes. So, but
Yeah,
they refract him, right?
yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I'm going a
So
million miles a minute
that's
here.
the issue right there. It's because he kills Tikkaman, he leaves Photon by himself up top, which is his, his support.
Well, no, it was
So that
they
puts
used two
Photon
Molotovs. They used one here, and then I think Ghetto threw another to try and Molotov, and that burned so that it didn't allow them to slow play like they wanted to. They weren't able
Yeah,
to.
it's I don't know if it was too late, but it wasn't quite synchronized enough for Argo to be stopped, which is the issue there,
Correct,
really.
correct,
Yeah,
correct. Well, that's what
and
I was
like you
trying to get.
said,
They
Castle
used
just
both at almost the same time, so it burned that opportunity to
yep.
allow. I feel like they had the guy sitting in the back deep of jungle there. He was trying to kind of watch the rotate, but he had a Gruber, and you're trying to go against a Saber. I mean,
As long as he's an
not
angle
very
on like,
pretty.
because I think his job is just try and stop them if they get to the plant. But at that point, there's too many people at that point. If it was like a
Yeah,
1v2, it'd be a different situation. But he's in a 1v4. It's like there's no way you're gonna win that
right,
fight.
right.
So
Absolutely.
again, it's the big issue for me is just the initial part, being able to hold off Castle. Like you said, Castle is a huge part of that map. So we're
Mhm.
gonna interested to see how the Global Breakout does it when they get to their defense and they try to defend that part, or really any part. Really, I think the only part different was just this map here isn't as crazy to me when it comes to defender attacker. Just that map and then the kill house map where I was like, what is this? What is this?
Shoutouts to Floggle for the TY from the heart. You can always, one thing that I always like to comment is you can always tell the energy and how a team is doing based off the drawings that they're still doing. We have seen both teams just absolutely just drawing, communicating, and talking. Again, I do still think that there's a point to be said about the overall mentality on Yakuza or Global Breakout, excuse me. But even then, I mean, you can still see these guys are talking, they're chatting. I mean, there's definitely some good energy going on between both teams. There's still definitely that communication. It's just a matter of just for Global Breakout, just getting them a little bit closer, and for Yakuza, just making sure they don't get caught out, which I think is really the only two notes I've really found for these guys so far.
So far, yeah. Well, we'll see what they do here because now we're gonna see the
Absolutely,
attack here on the second set
it's an
for
identical style
this
too.
first
It
set.
it
Yeah.
looks like Global Breakout's expecting for a red door here in Boiler. They're gonna go for
Oh,
power, and
they
then
got a lot of people in Globe Boiler. Oh my god.
oh, well, yeah, and ironically enough, we saw Ghetto initially. He drew something like this to try and get himself, to say, "Hey, let's just go for power and boiler," and then then fan will be closed or open, and then they can kind of sneak in and kind of do the same thing that Global Breakout did to them. But this time, the big difference, and I think the really key thing here is we got a flare on docks, so again they can see one on bomb, and nothing else. But Argo was just slurping up that sweet sweet oil there in behind,
Oh,
and
shots
now
gonna
that
come through. Ooh.
yeah, and it's gonna be a five man green potentially.
Yeah, they actually brought a heart breach charge, but they're not using it right now, at least. But it looks maybe they use it on maybe on the fan. I hard to say because they have the clacker in hand, but looks like Collins get taking shots on the Tommy. Ghetto's making his way through, so they're giving up serve farm for the second, but they're taking shots. Explicit peeks his head out too far. Flogger will take advantage of that. Collins now by himself in boiler. That could be an easy if they can isolate him, but it looks like he's trying to push his way maybe back towards Doc, stay
I was gonna
alive.
say he's playing extremely defensive. He's basically just holding that door, and as soon as he sees utility, I think he's gonna just back off immediately. Yeah, there
Yeah,
he
yeah,
goes.
yeah.
No
That's
no
probably the right call.
desire to
Yeah,
play that.
yeah. They have the flares, so it's the right call just to
Mhm.
back off. And this point now, Pleb to hold off section. Tiger Man's got a point. If he can take
Tiger
out
got to get
Pleb,
something done though. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, that's the same. He takes out
There we
Argo.
go.
Perfect shot. That's one member down in the office. Fender's still up there. Pleb's playing below pipes, and they open up into office. Actually, that's a perfect play. Brenda goes down, and two members just
Nice.
rushing in. Now with that control, Colin's now in a position. Pleb's dead. It's all on Colin now. They know where Colin is. Pre-fires, two members come after him, and he's dead on the ground. And that's the attacking round here for Yakuza, and they're making the way back immediately. And I'm telling you, it seems like maybe a deja vu.
It's deja vu, but different. It's different because it wasn't a 1v1. And
It
I
wasn't.
want
I
to
bet deja vu is like maybe they're gonna win all three rounds on the attack.
that's going to be the deja vu because again, I feel like Global Breakout is confident in their individual abilities because again, they wouldn't have left Pleb to watch this 1v1 unless they were confident and he did clutch it out. But in this case, Yakuza keep coming back as a whole team when they win. It's not because one guy goes absolutely ballistic. It's because their team got it. Taiga sat here for like 45 seconds waiting for Argo just to show his shoe so he could murder him. And then
And
that
that
was
gave the intel just to
as
push into
soon
his
as
wall
yeah, and
too.
then as soon as
Yeah.
that call happened, they went straight after the last guy in office. And then at that point, the global breakout guys have been so fractured and in just complete utter disarray. They rolled in. There was a lot of guys again, very low health too. It's not like you're seeing one guy go in and he's like, oh god, I've got 10 HP. I should probably continue to just push as hard as I can. No, he's like, all right, you take some of the shots. I'll be your refragger. And so
Yeah,
now
yeah,
I've got a
that's
better
that's
chance.
that's the point. That's the key part. Like the difference between me, like I would say Global Breaker right now for now come to like playing like strat wise, they've got some good
Mhm.
strats, they've some good plays. But when it comes to playing as a team, though, I have to give the Yakuza though.
Yeah,
The
Yakuza
refrag
Yakuza's
potential,
rolling as the boys.
yeah, the cues, the synchronization, them playing as a team seems to be the outstanding compared to what we see from Global Breakout. But so far, both teams most part have been even for the most part. It's been pretty good for both teams. They both have their good strengths and weaknesses, and
Mhm,
it's gonna be interesting to see who first breaks the stride of what's been going on. Because so far it's been the same. One of the attacking team wins, the attacking team keeps winning, the defense wins, the keeps winning. Who's gonna
mhm.
break that rhythm? We saw last map it was Yakuza to break that rhythm. They were the first ones to break that rhythm of of the set so far. Is it gonna be global breakout this time? Because they gotta show us something different. It's gonna be the case.
Well, can the robots adapt? That's the question. Can the robots adapt? Yakuza can. They have shown that they were very flexible with their
I don't think they're
approaches.
robots anymore.
Well, again, Yakuza has shown multiple times. I mean, Castle was such a great example because they did the exact same thing in Factory. It's like, all right, you want to push us? Come on in. They didn't get what they wanted, but that idea of hey, sorry, let me back up a little bit here with this thought process. Due process has this kind of mentality of if you are more aggressive than your opponent, you will win because you have more guys just pushing in. There's that confidence. Yakuza's like, hey, you want to just dive in on us? All right, hey, we got Molotovs. You can jump in, you can die. Now, again, in that castle situation, that's the situation where they lost. But we saw that on Factory, where it's like, all right, come on in, come and get us, Chief, and then we will bleed you. We will make every step you take hurt, and they are
Hey,
so good at doing that. Their defensive play is so clean.
well, let's see what happens here. So far, the interesting thing last time was the big thing was that the person who auto shot Tommy on the
Yeah,
defense for
death. Yeah.
Yakuza, he unfortunately was that initial pick, which gave them the initial push into the office. They
Hmm.
picked off one person off from the angle outside of Breezeway with that tar. And then from there is only one person office, and the last two players were off site, and they have to make a play in flank, but they were caught off by Global Breakout on that attack or the
Right.
defense for Yakuza. So far, it's a bit of the same, but it looks like maybe those members on the far side from Global Breakout seem to be more active. They seem to be trying to recontrol and keep control of reception. But from the same from Yakuza, they're not going for that standard playthrough lockers.
I must be losing my mind. I see Floggle has Clacker.
He
Is
does.
there? There's a
And
door
the
charge.
door chart's already on it. It's on
Oh,
DPL.
okay. So I must. Yeah. Okay. I was
Yeah,
like, I was losing my mind. I was like, oh, he's got Clacker. Where's the door charge? But no. Okay. Ghetto. Oh, gets pleb. That's a
Ooh.
great pick there. And now,
Oh my god, Explicit just runs into
goes
Breezeway.
on.
And he still
He
loses the
still
fight.
gets him.
What? Explicit initiates that fight, still loses it.
Oh
Now it
my
seems to be a full
no.
brick house push from Yakuza. Somebody now from like Argo, somebody has to make a play because this is kind of that one-sided push. Sure, and if
Argo has to
with the
rotate, but he's gonna stick close.
actually, well,
There's a.
they have a grenade in hand, so this depends. This is a long angle. This is hard to really defuse without a grenade. Without they don't
There
have
we
another grenade
go.
in hand. They have a Molotov though. Photon
They
has a
got. Yeah.
Molotov.
They can flat. They can force.
Yeah, if
Oh,
they
Colin.
Molotov Argo, oh, but that's a great shot from Colin. He's
Deep
playing behind the
flash.
bomb chassis.
Argo's
Tommy
been
pushes
flashed.
in. Oh my god, Tommy's in there. He killed
Yeah.
Argo.
Argo was
There
hard
goes that.
flash.
It's Render now. Render takes out one. Tommy pushes in. It's Render now
Oh,
versus
don't
Photon.
call it
Where
a
did
comeback.
Photon?
They never left.
Where'd they go? What?
They never left because Render said, yo, remember that one time I was on the other kill house and then I just almost clutched it for the entire team? Yeah, I'm
What?
gonna just do it again.
Oh, he was
No!
close though. It was close. It was close. It was close. Yeah,
Oh
unfortunately, he got
no!
flashed. Unfortunately, he got flashed.
It's kill house all over again.
I told you, man. I told you. It's well, hey, at least this was closer though. I feel like for the when Yakuza defended this, it wasn't quite as close though.
Yes, well, well, that's also because I think the attack was different. We saw a Locker's reception conga line into this, this area. Now, again, they got lucky with that pick. I'm well, lucky XD, but like the brick house push was a lot more methodical, and it was the idea that they wanted to try and kind of force open the defensive side.
I
Where
must say it was only close because Render's crazy.
well, render just oh my man,
Render literally was the only reason that was close because every other member
his next games.
on the side of Global Breakout didn't really do much.
That's the second time Render has just gone absolutely ballistic, and then he came just short. I want Render to win so badly.
It's
He
such a hard thing to
deserves
win
it.
though, especially because you're in the middle of the bomb site and you're just trying to stop them pushing into office and you get flashed. There's nothing you can do at that point. And the guy
That
had a
was
knack too.
that was the second time he went absolutely nuts. I want this
Yeah,
boy.
that's
Get
difficult,
this
man.
boy a hug. He needs it.
It's difficult, man. It's difficult. But
Oh, it's
that
heartbreaking.
round two, especially the fact that Tommy was able to push into the site,
Mhm.
into office, and kill Argo with the auto shotty. He just ran in. And of course, I'm
Yeah,
assuming everyone was flashed. That's the issue.
Yeah,
Was the issue
Argo
there.
got hard flashed and he backed up well, but then he heard Tommy rushing him with the through the barbed wire. So he tried to line himself up, but he was still like, 40-minute flashed, so
Yeah,
he
he was
really couldn't.
still blind as heck, so he couldn't win that fight. And
Mhm.
that just sucks about office because that's why that site looks horrible to be a defender because it's such a small confined area. One flash flashes everyone in the room for God's sakes.
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
Oh god,
Yes,
and that's
it's
the thing with
not.
this. So this one's gonna be interesting to see if Yakuza can actually push Castle like we saw from Global
Yep.
Breakout.
It's well, you say that, but then let's take a look at the attack plan here because it almost looks like our boys from the
But the thing is, if you
Yakuza
don't push
side.
that, then they just have these angles against you, though.
That's well, and that's I think that might be where we might see the momentum shift here because depending on this call, because again, we've seen that these guys make different calls. Yakuza on that Kill House map, they wanted to try and play for that, those more, or excuse me, Global Breakout tried to push for the more, long angles and kind of systematically open themselves up. Where Yakuza just wanted to kind of on dive in for the site.
Are they gonna
But
jump
let's see.
over this too to push in a jungle? That's interesting
Yeah,
to see
you could.
too.
Oh, you definitely
They
could.
can just jump over that. That's be interesting. So really, this is going to be either fights from here or fights from just Castle though, because it's like that's the issue. I feel is like Castle has too much here, too much control over this
It does.
position.
Well, and that's why getting control of castle. A lot of times, there's two things that you always have to deal with on Kill Dome. It's either observation or castle. If you don't take one, then you're going to be at a huge disadvantage for every time you ignore castle. Because again, here we go. We got two guys
Oh
just going to be
wait, but
sitting in it, and
you have
they've got.
three going towards beach though.
It can work. Again, Mop is just running everywhere. Pleb still hasn't gotten himself set up here, so he's going to be watching this long angle, which is fine because again, he'll be covered. That was a
Hmm.
great Molotov and a smoke. All right, they're in.
They're in. So really, this is on now. This is kind of on the rest of the people's on beach to try and make a play and stop this base push though, or stop them pushing playing castle really. So
Correct.
they can open the button up. They're just gonna walk in because they're not using heart breaching into the barbed wire. Can they in this though a Molotov in the hand of render? This is like a death trap for Yakuza.
Potentially, but again, there's also a lot of utility that they can still utilize. Great flash. That'll. Oh.
I again
Wow.
that just
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
I told you,
Photon.
man. It just seems like a death
Okay.
trap.
Okay. Well, I was thinking, I was like, all right, well, they're gonna flash. They can get in, hit the button, and they can start pushing themselves through. And then Photon went, yeah, this looks like a nice forehead, and clicked on Ghetto. But
Well, he was getting shot by Ren anyway, because he walked up and they're just playing this corner, and Render's just playing the window right here. So it's like, again, they
that's
look like they're
basically
trying to just
engaging.
walk by Castle despite all the windows there. Explicit gets a pick on a Tommy too from that same window I'm talking about. Explicit dies though. Good pick from Photon. Argo's there with a Nacto around the corner of the rock. Great shots from Argo. Render and Pleb though actually get those kills. It wasn't Argo. He was close
4v5.
by. And again, like I was talking about, it seems like this play is just not it.
Not gonna work.
Not it. Like I'm telling you, that
Well,
was just
you
not
don't
it.
if you don't play castle, if you don't take obs, then you're gonna pay for it. And there you go. That's what happens when you don't. And it's 4-2.
That's they were the first, and I told you they're the first to break the stride, and that's the big part here. Breaking the stride, breaking the what we expect here is the big thing, and they probably can keep it up too.
Oh, absolutely. Well, again, that's at this level, at this point in due process's age. Again, you give someone an inch, they're going to take a whole mile. And if you guys keep playing so closely, as soon as there's one minor deviation, here we go.
Yeah, I
Even
don't know.
even if you
Even
even if
before
they're
that
perfect
strat
for
in
the rest of
general,
the game, Global Breakout still wins.
that strat in general is just painful though. The fact that they just walked into they walk into space, and the main part was taking that bottom of jungle. But again, because
Mhm.
of long angles from castle, you can't make that push work. And then they push from base. They didn't bring a wall charge. They didn't have a wall charge anymore. So they can't push in the castle the normal way or the other way, alternative way. They had to push at the door, which they don't even do that even. They only push the button. They go below castle and they think they can somehow just evade the windows, which I don't think you can really do. Pretty sure it's impossible.
It is possible, but again, as we saw, the risks associated to that is if you're not talking with your team perfectly, well, you might end up just murdering your best friend, and it kind of
I think
happens.
he was gonna die to render anyway at that point.
If
I don't think it's gonna matter at that point who
probably,
kills render. I think
probably,
or who
but
kills him. I
again, there
think
was
render
still
was
a
gonna
lot
die
of
anyway.
utility on those three guys coming from beach. So
It was all
I
flashes though. There's nothing to really push them. Like there's flashes to push through, but there's no grenades to destroy the barbed wire.
well, they weren't interested in trying to. They were trying to just avoid castle. So they just
That's
needed to
the
get
like
themselves into the position to clear out the guys in jungle, and then they would have been good. But that's not here and now. And I do see
yeah, I
the
know.
problem is again they ignored castles. They paid for it dearly. That's at the
Yeah, I
end of
think
the day.
even if
That's
you
the
flash the guys, you're not gonna make
yeah
that work, unfortunately. So,
yeah.
but either way, yeah, we're on bank now. It's a new set,
We on bank.
and now Yakuza have to make a trek back. They have to now break the stride in the other way to try somehow make it back and make this competitive. Otherwise, it's just gonna be you're just
Yep.
gonna the rounds are just gonna keep stepping forward, and it's gonna be Global Breakout to win this map or win this match.
Exactly. So we're gonna have to see them get creative. At the end of the day, they got to do something that will spook the robots and make them kind of realize that they do have a human heart somewhere deep
Or
underside
just kill them.
underneath all that metal.
Just shoot them. Easy. Come on,
just.
just
I
shoot them.
mean, at the end of the day, that's the idea. If you just shoot them before they shoot you, then you win,
Yeah,
right?
easy, easy
Oh, I
peasy.
love it.
Well, the question is now, are they going to?
Easy.
Looks like they're going to
Oh,
open entrance up.
look at these
It's a
drawings though,
full
real
entrance.
quick. Oh, I appreciate these drawings. This is some like tactical, tactical stuff here.
It's
They
a
got.
full entrance push.
Oh, it's so good. I love it.
Oh, Explicit's gonna stop pushing. He's gonna throw the Molotov. Ghetto's just gonna run in like a madman. He's gonna die, obviously. I don't
Whew.
understand what happened there, but maybe at this point now Yakuza's breaks and mental fortitude has fallen
Yeah.
off the cliff.
I don't know what the game plan there was. Ghetto just straight up cowabunged himself in there, and there was real no follow up. And Pleb's gonna continue. He takes a little bit of trade, but he gives some back as well. And again, Global Breakout just backs up. They have no reason to fight these guys one for one. The button is in such a well secured location for them because they've got two different angles that they can easily lock down. No one from loans, so they don't have to risk that at all. Good flash
Oh,
from Render
Pleb
though.
gets shot through the wall though. Great shot from
Nice.
Floggo to get that kill. And well, that's one person back, but still, again, like you talked about long range, but Tegan, man, great shot though with the saber to take out Argo. But still, this push into accounting his next push. They flash out Render. Render actually, is he flashed even?
Oh
He's
yeah,
getting
he's
tossed off
definitely
both sides though. He's been double teamed. Explicit now in sight gets taken off Floggo. So really, this is just falling apart for the side of Global Breakout. But at least Colin takes
yeah.
one back though. He gets two in the hands to make it 2-1. But now at this point,
Tommy doesn't
Tommy
know
has
that
to be
he's
the one.
rotating. Okay, there we go.
Tommy's gonna cover him. Flash in hand. He flashes him. Puts out. He wins the fight against Colin. And
Nice.
that's it.
And real quick, I also wanted to point out, Taiga also kind of got behind the bomb when Tommy called that Colin was pushing him. He got behind the bomb just in case he needed to get an angle prepped for when Colin, in case Tommy fell. So just
Yeah.
they're still talking, they're still fighting. I don't know about this ghetto push. That to me looked
Yeah, that was the fact that
trashy.
they won these fights on Pleb and then on Argo was just a crazy opening to turn the round back in their favor. Like that was just like
Yeah,
at
this
that
should
point,
be
like you said.
5-2 right now. This should be 5-2.
Yeah, like you said before though, like when they first got that pick on a ghetto, if they just pulled back and play it safe,
Mhm.
they could have won that. They could have played that. They could have waited for the trades inside, maybe inside the room to take for play for the button. But Argo peaks. Pleb doesn't know that they can get angle him through that security wall, and they lose two members off the bat. And then at that point, you have isolated members like Render, who's playing and counting by himself. He gets flashed, double teamed.
Yep.
Colin's not in a place to
Yeah.
refrag.
Then they just start wolf packing them. Absolutely.
Yeah, like that was, and again, that's the kind of issue I've seen with some of the defenses, both sides really, is that giving them that inch, like you said, or just giving them those picks, give them that ability to snowball even farther seems to be an issue with both teams.
Absolutely. And here we go into Ancient Scepter. I mean, it's tough because like I feel like we're kind of just always giving the same recap of these guys, but we really haven't seen them kind of recognize it. It's almost like these guys are, I don't want to say they're so set in their way that it's impossible for them to adapt and evolve as they do, because I mean every match, every game is a new development for each player. I mean, I can see it myself. You put in so many hours, but you also start to kind of build these habits around the assumptions of your team. I think how many times has Ghetto died to Photon? It's like two now, and which is a weird thing to point out, but it's still kind of surprising that it's happened at this caliber. You know, it's little things like that where it's like, okay, why are you
Has it been
still?
two?
I, there's been at
It's only
least
been
two
one.
friendly fires on
I think it's
either
been two
team.
friendly fires. I don't think it was Photon and them this both times though.
I don't
I
know.
could
I
be
think
wrong, but I don't think
I
it
do
was.
require I do remember Photon being responsible for at least both
I
of
think
them.
I think Photon was the one, but I don't think it was onto. I think before
Um,
too in that situation too, it was like it was
was it on
heavily in the
Tom?
favor of their team too. That's round though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it was either on Tommy or Ghetto. I remember
Yeah, it wasn't that big of
specific
a deal though.
for
Like
some
I know.
reason. If it was like one of those, if I had a nickel for every time I've been murdered by my friends, I'd have two nickels, which is a weird thing to say.
And it depends. The first instance, I think it was a big of a deal. Second instance, I think it was a big deal, sure, in a sense, but it's not that big of a it's not reoccurring that much to really care about too much. I think the main issue for like you were talking about is adapting is just the fact that these members keep like peaking or they keep getting aggressive when they don't need to be. And that's
Yep.
kind of the issue I feel like is more of the problem here is that they get the man advantage. That someone dies early, but despite that man advantage, they still try to get aggressive, despite the fact they have that advantage and they have the angles they need to just to hold to go to the next phase of the defense. But rather than that, they peek
Mhm.
out, they lose fights, and next thing you know, they're in the man disadvantage, and now they somehow make it back. And now those are the kind of issues
Absolutely.
I see more than anything. So, but we'll see. Maybe we'll see how it goes this defense. We go for once again we're on C store here. It's a different C store though. It's interesting. We got the shutters. We'll see how they play it out. Tellers is kind of that open with the arcade in the side. And the question is, well, the first part is opening up to see get an angle onto Freezer.
No, I like the idea because they'll give Taiga some space to kind of work and try and lock down this freezer side. Pleb though with a huge rotate gets himself there into tellers, but Render's already kind of there. So I never like having two people in tellers because it tells you, okay, two of you are in there. Now we just need to find the other three,
Oh,
and
it's
they know
big.
where Argo is because they jump him immediately. Sadly, Tommy gets taken by Axe.
Oh, Pleb comes out though. They don't see Pleb pushing in. He takes two. He just walks into storefront around the smoke. Flogo's by himself in there. He takes out Render. Can he do it? No, he can't. And that play, probably the big thing there was the fact that you let Pleb walk into storefront and just murder the entire push into the storefront.
Yep. No, absolutely.
That
And
was just he walks around the smoke. Nobody recognizes he's in storefront. He just murders the team pushing in. Like, yikes.
I mean, great heads up play from him to see, he saw an opportunity and he immediately jumped on it. No questions asked. But again,
Yeah, I
that's
guess nobody expect that, really. I gotta give it to him.
we keep seeing this from them though. Every time, I mean, we kind of it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, we've given him some criticism because we've seen him two prior times where it's like, okay, why are you peeking that? Well, there was an opportunity to jump in, so he went for it. There wasn't
Well, that's
a
different though from peaking the long range against the gunfights though. That I feel like is different though, and I feel like it was at least better to the time because saw Argo in the corner there by himself. Explicit playing the support from bathroom worked a lot better, and then those are the kind of situations where like having an auto shot to run through storefront because there's smoke is different from hey they're pushing entrance. I'm just gonna peek this window.
all it takes though is one guy to find him, and then your entire auto shot is useless.
Eh,
If
true.
global
Yeah,
if
like high risk, high reward. It kind of depends on the
right, and
situation, I
that's
guess.
that's what I'm saying. It's that mentality though. Because
Yeah,
did he
it's
need to peek in on that kill house? No, he really shouldn't. That's not what he needed to do. But he did it anyways. Did he should he have run in like that with the auto shot? Well, yeah, that's the right thing to do. So he did it anyways. That's just that mentality, that
hmm.
thought process of I'm going to go
The
in there and I'm going
situation
to
is
make
different
an
for me because
opportunity.
there's a smoke in the way, there's chaos going on in that situation. For me, I think that's more likely to happen
I
than
don't
when
disagree.
you
No, absolutely, absolutely. But that's what I'm saying. That's just the gamer mindset that we're looking at here. Is this man wants blood? He went in there, and again, all it takes is one guy just happening to look on the left side of the smoke, going, "Oh, hey, look, there's the auto shot. I've got an AP-25, baba booey," and then he falls over and dies. Nothing too difficult for them to really take that
I don't know,
shot.
it
Now,
depends on that point. I feel like by the time he's at the smoke on the corner, I think it was too close at that point.
I don't know. I think
That's an interesting one too. If someone actually had recognized you there, would they have won that fight with the range he was at though? Because at that point, he's right around the corner, around the smoke. He's pretty much only like he probably like one of those shelves away from somebody. Would he
mhm.
still win that fight? Would be the interesting question.
Well, with how you have to pretty much like hug someone to make the auto shot useful, at least that's how it always seems for me. I don't know, but again, we're playing at such a level here that who knows, he probably could have, but we're here on Factory, Star Fury. We've got
Oh,
the a
pleb.
3-2 split from
Oh, I knew it.
oh well, that's a 2-2 split. Never mind.
And now this is where they just gotta back off. If they just back off now and play it,
Yeah,
it's just
absolutely.
that's exactly what could happen. There's nobody as long as nobody doesn't make it crazy. And again, this is where issues. Explicit's kind of playing by himself here. He has two Molotovs,
Mhm.
but he just if he gets killed, he just evens it out. Depends. They gotta get it though. It's just still a big pick. And then you go Flago and Tiga Man try to make a play. Flago just pushes in, tries to bait out maybe a Molotov from somebody. There it is. Flip throws it out. So they're just gonna bait out utility for the moment. Photon pushes the way in, and we'll see if how long Explicit stays here.
He's gonna stick it, and he's gonna try and he's going for a rotate right now. That position for me screams he's trying to go for a rotate, but now he's made his presence known, and yeah, he needs to get the heck out of Dodge because there's no reason for him to stay. He's gonna double back the Mad Lad, of course he does.
Ooh.
Render also holding down Office very well
He's
for
got to
their
escape.
team. I mean,
He's got to jump out the window if he needs to, really. So he can stay here for the moment. If he starts taking fire, just jump out the window, stay alive. Argo's got a sniper on the stairs, so Tiga Man can't move. At this point, Explicit's gonna take one though. That's great though. So even he takes one, he doesn't take the other, but still big. He keeps it even. That's the point. He's going one for one. Allows for them to play that and know that Tommy's inside of Toxic. To Flago's Tiga Man both dead on the office side. It's just Tommy.
I'm curious. He had a grenade, and are they gonna find it and get it? Yes,
Yep, they
sir.
do.
So that means
Yep,
that
they
is a
do.
grenade on the defender side.
Yeah, that's huge here, and that's why I said now. So now this is easily just one more round. They got this
Mhm.
easy peasy.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And this, I think, what was it? It was a
7-4.
7-4,
Yeah.
7-4 the last one. This is gonna be a potential 7-3. So global breakout again. We're
I
talking
told you
about.
nothing. It's too early to be calling stuff like that, my man. Told you.
You
Too
never
early
know.
knowing
think
that, hey, one
I'm
team
sorry.
is done for,
Excuse
the
me,
mental
sorry. I
shock.
haven't elevated myself to this level as of recent. I'm usually used to watching the first kind of rounds play out in on the rival side. Also, by the way, when are we getting rivals again? Anyways, uh, because usually a lot of the momentum you see extremely early into the game. With these guys, it's completely different, but in a good way. It's
I told
completely
you, man, yeah,
different.
I told you, man,
In a
it's too late to be calling for these kind of guys. They know what it's like to be down in games, and they can bring it back, like we see already here from Global Breakout. So we're gonna probably go to match 3 after this one. Though it depends. Hey, maybe Yakuza bring it back. I don't know.
we've seen wilder things before.
I've seen pigs fly. Wait, what?
Oh. Mm, mm. Hang on. Let me check my phone here real quick. Hang on. What? But all right, bank. So again, let's take a look. They got some pings. They got some notifications on this lobby entrance. There's also a potential grenade spot to clear out the barbed wire. I like that global breakout. One thing that I always do appreciate is global breakout always calls where they want their utility to go. I really enjoy that because that's usually a lot of teams will kind of just say, "Oh yeah, we're gonna 3-2, then you guys move your utility as needed." But it's like, no, 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 no. We're going to go into lobby. We're going to clear accounting. You're going to hit the button. And then probably Saber is going to try and get into vault with support through the double flash. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I swear to the right hand of God though, if the Yakuza boys sit two of them inside vault, I want them to lose that round. I genuinely I have a very big disdain for any team that sits two guys in vault and then locks the vault door because that is a
I've seen that work actually. I saw this work
it's
earlier in another
worked,
match.
but it doesn't mean I like it.
Because that's the point, though. Because if the rest of the team members waste enough time and you have to push in a site and they have,
Oh, they're
as
gonna
you
do
see,
it.
3
Oh boy,
Molotovs,
here we
a
go.
mop, and an auto shotty, and you have 20 seconds to make it into the vault, you're not making it.
One grenade and two flashes, and that entire room becomes an absolute nightmare.
Oh, it depends. Because if they throw the grenade here, they're not gonna kill anybody. If they're here, they
No,
get rid of
no,
this
nade to
guy.
clear the barb. One,
Oh, the
one
barb,
about
yeah.
here that clears pretty much everything in this area, and then one
Yeah.
deep, and you're clear.
Clear
Because again,
understand,
if you
Team Man can evade that, though, and he still can hold the cross, though. That's the issue.
let's see. I'm excited because again, it's been a while since
In
we've
the end, the
seen.
issue is going to be if these three can hold enough time, though. They have to waste enough time for that
Mhm,
vault push to be nullified or be impossible. So really, this
absolutely.
push on them for so far. So Colin Argo pushing in. Pleb has the sniper in hand, looking to pick someone up, but they're waiting. Photo and the rest of them are waiting for a chance when they don't know where they are. Looks like Ghetto's just sitting around, waiting for the push, but he's by
Yeah,
himself. Flago
there's
actually
no
has a
reason that
long
they need to
angle.
push. They're gonna just take their
Yeah,
sweet time. There's no reason for
Flago's
it.
got an angle to help Ghetto. Photo's the only one kind of isolated.
There's the okay. There goes their only grenade to clear out the
Oh,
barb.
Ghetto, what the?
Ghetto goes crazy, gets flashes, he
Oh,
gets Argos, so it
one
worked.
for one. Works out.
It works.
So the
And
problem is
now
nobody's really in angle. Nobody's in angle actually to stop the button from being open
they're
though.
they're out of utility.
Oh wait, what? Yeah, they have no.
They've
yo,
used up a
yo, they have
utility
no
already.
grenades. They have no flashes. I think I
They
think your
one,
their
two,
theory went out the button, went out the window.
what? Hang on. What the heck are okay.
So
So
even if they open the button though, now they have to
yeah,
worry
it
about two
doesn't
defenders.
they're gonna get sandwiched. And now
Yeah,
they're gonna
they're
get mob
sandwiched.
picked.
This is
Oh,
they have to win these fights though.
oh
And then
no.
Tegan just peeks out and kills one. They still have 2 Molotovs in the hands of Tegan
Oh,
to stop the push in the vault. So at this point, they have to go hunting in this
yep.
next 30 seconds to
30
even make this
seconds.
possible.
I see what's gonna frustrate the heck out of me is this is gonna work. And what's gonna happen is now I'm
I
gonna
would
join
save at this point.
casuals,
I would
and you're
save.
gonna have
I would back out.
everyone's gonna go, oh, but I can do it. I'm like Tom. Oh, the
I
Minecraft hit detection
told you,
noises.
it's no way.
Oh, disgusting. Oh
Oh
god.
no, Pleb! Wait, Pleb stays alive. Pleb can just
Let's
walk
stays
out with the saber.
alive.
Come on,
Can
Pleb,
he
stay
find
alive.
Photon?
Yeah,
Okay.
Pleb, just walk out of there. Get out.
He closes the vault door.
Yeah, just close the vault door and leave, man. Just exactly. Just keep the saber.
Oh man.
To me, when you got to that point where there was 30 seconds left and you couldn't get into the vault because you had no utility left, the round was lost to me. You should just walked out.
Oh yeah,
Do not.
no, you need two flashes. That's the minimum to get into vault if you know that there's someone in there. You
In
need
the
to. And
barbed
they
wire, yeah, even with
as
2 flashes, the barbed wire in the way too, and they could just Molotov it. Like, there's no way.
Oh,
No way.
as soon as they opened the lobby and realized there was no one home, they should have suspected something. That should have been like big red flag is like, okay, why am I not getting shot at and I'm in the lobby? What's going on here?
Well, it depends. You can
And
you can you can hunker down in accounting though. So I don't know.
well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, there's no one in the lobby, so my options are they're in security, there's no one there. Okay, accounting, manager, and loans. Okay, well, those three are on the other side of the wall. So slow roll it. Let's just do a little bit of, scout work. Let's go send, X or someone to go and get a
Well, that's
feeler.
what
See.
sucks about this game though compared to other games. There's no way to really, get intel. You can't really
Mhm,
tell how many people are in accounting, how many people are in manager, how many people are alone, especially when you only do a one-sided attack as well, and nobody goes through another angle. I
mhm.
guess maybe that's the point though, is you maybe need something to go through another angle to, see things out,
Yeah,
scout
you have
things
to start
out.
rotating and start kind of like because if they had played a bit more aggressively, again, they're playing to their standard, they're playing to their timings. If they had
That's the
they said,
issue.
okay, I need one guy to rotate, go around, just clear out the western side of the map. Okay, you didn't die, then they're all in accounting. Okay, let's get one or two flashes, clear that. Okay, we found a third guy. Okay, they're now three are in accounting. That's three minus five. Okay, you got two or five minus three. That's two. Okay, the last two have to be in vault. Okay, now we have a good tally of where everyone is. There was none of that. Again, they had their plan, they executed, it didn't work, and they got stuck. They didn't know how to move any further.
That's how it is, man. It's just, and to me, this game right now, it's difficult to be able to intel where everybody's. Like we saw from like like a map ago when they had that play, and it was a what two people? It was a 3v2,
Mhm,
and they only one's inside of tellers, and it's a box. You can't leave tellers, so then you have to tally where's the last guy at, and that's those kind of situations where teams got to figure it out. They got to start tallying
mhm.
things and figure things out, and having the intel, understanding that if they can make a play or not. So well, we'll see what happens this time though. We're on a C store. We saw
It's
last time this play really got foiled by Yakuza, or Yakuza's play got foiled entirely because of a
mhm.
shotgun. I don't know if it's gonna happen the same time this time, really, but we'll see.
Otter shotties go burr, especially when there's a smoke.
Yeah, it just walks out the smoke and just murders everyone.
I'm gonna
But
be so livid though because now I'm gonna join a casual match. There's gonna be two or three guys. No, like there's gonna be three guys sitting in vault going. Yeah, this is the plan. We're gonna have like four barbs. We're gonna have like the auto shotty and mop sitting in there. And then I'm like, all right, yeah, sure, I'll try and stem the push. And then like our guys, I get wiped, and then I just watch them, and it's like they have like one grenade clears the barb, the auto shotty guy gets hit by some shrapnel damage, and then like four flash grenades go flying into a vault. And it's like, yeah, see that's why.
oh no, Photon
Oh
too close to the
no, that's
no Photon.
a
And
classic
he's
meme, but it
that
checks out.
that sucks. Well, that's a great start for global breakout.
Well, that's why you don't stand next to Red doors, kids.
He
But
might be looking to kick it. Maybe I wonder what he was doing.
it's reassuring though because
Oh,
it happens
the
to
rush.
me. And oh, this is a wow. This is
Random
a
quick through
scrap.
on that. That's big. They're on the bomb pretty much. They killed the guy in
Yeah, they're
freezer,
in
so he
there.
goes
No, they're
across.
in there.
Tigerman's got to play. Flago's got to play for his life inside tellers. Tiga's got to get aggressive, but he's only got a mop in hand. He's playing tender. Flago actually walks out, kills Explicit. Renner, can he refrag him? No, Flago gets away alive. He's the only one left though in a 1v2, 1v3 actually, 1v3. He's getting
He
pushed by
doesn't see
Flep though.
doesn't see Flap.
Flep hits the door. He walks out. He gets shot. He's dead.
I it started a bit awkward because red doors go burr, but there you go. Global breakout
7-4.
7-4.
Hey, they came back 7-4, 7-4. Anything can happen. I'm telling you, man. Anything can
Anything
happen.
can happen at this point because it's
Yeah.
it's basically we just had two ties. Well, we had a tie.
Exactly. We just had 2 matches. Both
Oh
won. It's
baby.
like on other esports. They both won their map picks.
Yep.
Anything happened, really. So now we
Anything
go to
can
another
happen.
decider to figure things out, or maybe yeah, another a decider to see who
Mhm.
wins it out. Unless that goes
Cool.
overtime, and then we have to do something crazy.
I wouldn't be upset with that. It would be a good finale though to have a tie, a one round one team, one round one team, and then a tie, and then we go into it.
That just
Um,
sounds like too much.
I don't mind. Hey, more yo. There's a potential of $300 on the line for the winning team. All right, they gotta work for it.
They did work for it. This is gonna be hey, it's been an interesting one so far though to see these teams back and forth, back and forth.
Mhm.
1-1 there, 1-1 the 7-4. Saw Yakuza do great on the first match, and then second match, Glow Breakup bring it back though. And again, it's just that mental fortitude to still play the best of their game, bring it back so far, and then we go on to a third match, which could be the end all. Could be, could be.
No, absolutely. Sorry, I was just kind of moving some stuff some stuff around on my side. I apologize. Yeah, this has been a very I don't know what the right word for it is because it's just been such an educational map. I mean, for everyone and anyone playing, because that understanding the fortitude that your team needs to have if you want to be at this level is absolutely
It's important.
it's so important because we have
So
seen
important.
3-0, 3-0, 3
Yep.
just back to back and forth. I mean, absolutely clean sweeps from
Just
the
gotta go
the
one
attacking
round.
side.
Just take it one round at a time.
Yeah,
Take it one round at a time.
absolutely,
Figure things out. Just
absolutely.
don't. If you got that's what that's the mental fortitude teams got to have at this level. Because if you
Mhm.
think too far or you think too much, then you're just getting in your own head, just causing yourself own
Right,
worries that are
right.
just gonna prove to be an issue. Because again, this game is or any game really, it's mental. It's a mental game entirely. If you think that you're gonna win a fight, you can win that fight,
Yeah,
sort
and
of,
then kind of
to a
I
to
mean,
an
as
extent.
long as you
I'm
don't
not
have, like,
saying win.
Render hiding in the corner, and then he just, pops off with a 3K or something like that, something just normal, whatever. But that
Hey,
was
we're
actually
about to
one thing.
go. Hey, we're
Good.
almost ready though. Ready for a third match. Ready though. A little bit should be close. We're almost there to a third match to maybe decide this. Maybe.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Now
No
the
break needed.
question.
No breaks here. Don't go away.
No, all gas, no brakes. Who needs that?
Don't close that tab.
Don't tab away, gamers, we're still
Don't
going.
tab away.
My question though is, and I think, we were talking about, like, some certain players kinda popping off. We
Mm,
didn't really see that from, Yakuza this time. Global Breakout was there, and they were just playing their game. They are just in, you grind, you
that's the
play.
point. That's the issue is that when you essentially get to that end round, and this go back to mental fortitude, is that when you get to
Mhm.
that part where the team's in the lead, and you have to somehow figure out a way to get in their cogs, get in their
Yeah.
minds, somehow stop them from doing that. That's a difficult time of doing that. And Yakuza, unfortunately, like you said, there was nobody stand out to do that, and there was nobody that really could, as a team or
Mm.
individually, nobody could do that. Unfortunately, that's kind of that individual point. Never mind. We're apparently we have to take a break anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's go ahead and just switch it over. We'll be back here in a couple minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you to everyone that was here for this match. Benny, any quick, let's give a you got 5 words. Sum it up for us.
I'll see you in 5 minutes.
There you go. See you in 5.
Welcome back, everybody, to the finals for our winter series here at Due Process League. Once again, I'm Benny L, joined by Ghost. We got a good one though. 7-4, 7-4. Both teams taking 1 point on their own, giving us a third match here, which could be the end all end all.
Yeah, it has been back and forth, close, and there have been multiple rounds where we're going, "Oh my god, can we just get one more shot, one more kill," which would absolutely have changed the entire layout of this game. But again, as we've seen, as we said, Global Breakout have been able to keep their grind set going, and they've been able to clutch out some really important rounds. And Yakuza coming in, as we kind of were talking about earlier in the when this set first kind of started, it was back and forth. Hang on just a quick second. Factory Bank, C store. There we go. Alrighty. Oh, I got a whole notebook, my man, of check it. Every single match, I write it down just to make sure I don't forget it. Got to get
Hey,
them
that's me.
casting
Taking
notes.
notes.
Oh,
Taking notes.
absolutely. But again, kind of oil and water here. Global Breakout, well known for their grind set, getting things done, getting in there, and just pushing until there is no more pushing to be done, as the opponents are dead. Yakuza, though, almost acting as the polar opposites to that, being very fluid, very dynamic, being very creative comparatively to their opponents here in this series, and rightly so. One team has gotten one on the board, the other team has got another on the board. And so now we are going in to our third set of this best of three. $500 on the line for first, or 300, excuse me, for first place,
Oh,
150
so
for
you just raised
second.
the price? Are you putting
Yes.
in money? Got it.
Sorry, Santa's coming in a little bit late, but he boosted the prize pool a bit. But no, coming in here, Juno Leopard Factory. It's looking like a power push.
Yeah, it looks like there's a good way to make the power. Once again, is kind of isolated by itself, so not too difficult depending on how the defense want to play this. If they
Mhm.
want to put utility towards that side to hold off on it, or they're expecting it, and they're going to bring those flat or the flares to make sure they can see when they do make those pushes through those inevitable hallways or inevitable doorways.
Absolutely, and it's gonna be really important to see how these guys handle kind of these first couple matches are gonna be so crucial. Just or these first couple rounds. Again, I know that we've said it's not a big deal when we see a three sweep, but keeping that mentality for your team, as you're coming into this is where we're really gonna see, I think, a lot of cracks on both teams because of the pressure that is gonna be this last final round or this last final set here from these two teams.
It looks like there is some definitely intent from the side of Yakuza, not Yakuza, it's from Global Breakout to hold on to server farm. You see outside Yakuza, outside looking to maybe push through. Pre-fires come out on the green door plebs at. So they're kind of just walking
Oh,
straight
there
into
it
what they're
is.
expecting. Pleb's got a long angle shot on the door. He's gonna murder everyone that walks through, and so is Render takes another. And at this point, it seems like they are saving on the side of Yakuza, but it seems like because they're saving, it's pretty much impossible to make their way through this door. Render gets taken out by Tiger Man. Great shot with that saber, but really that's all it is. Tommy takes down. Argo's there taking down too. It's just again a bloodbath walking through that choke point.
And very well done. I'm actually kind of surprised because they had the grenade. I don't know if they did it, but
Wait,
one thing that
wait, Flago, Flago. I would. Could you take door charges off?
I wish, but sadly no.
So I was to say, if I was Flog, I would have taken a door chop and
Oh,
walked
that
away. But
hurts.
unfortunately, you put it on already.
Well, I mean, might as well clack it for the meme. You know, what's why not? Why not? But
Clack it for the meme.
one thing that I had seen, and this is just something that when you're absolutely feeling yourself, Gnomes did this to who was it? LCG. One of them had taken a grenade at this point, threw it through the window, and landed right here where Pleb is currently standing because they knew that there was the potential chance for a mop player. And you want to talk about doing a team dirty? They didn't even stop. They were like, all right, we're going to conga line through here. All right, just throw the grenade. Yeah, sure, whatever. Boom. Absolutely ended the whole man's career. And, it's kind of, it wouldn't have worked out that bad because, it would have been a good guess. I mean, obviously you got the
They
barb
pre-fired it. They
here.
actually pre-fired it
Oh,
too, so that would have worked. But Argo goes down, but it's just another member to go down economic wise. Just a knack to lose. Nothing crazy. But I would be interested if they had done something like that because they did pre-fire that door and
mhm.
Pleb was there. He didn't take any real damage from it though when that pre-fire. But if
Right,
if
right.
they had taken a grenade,
It
they
could
could
have
have
worked, yeah.
grenaded that spot.
I mean, especially against Global Breakout, who you know that they're going to probably bring like a mop or something like that, and I'm very surprised that they read the green door so well because again, it's the green. They're going to be coming from green door, but where else? And it looked like the attempt was there to try and do something a little bit more creative instead of just
Just took
again.
too late. Too late.
I think Global Breakout's starting to catch on that they're five manning though, because you saw how
Yeah,
hard they stacked that.
it's again, and now it comes to being flexible and change things up though, right? Because
Mhm.
at that point, maybe Floggo should open it up earlier so that they could actually create that distraction in the first place. Because otherwise, there's literally 3, 4 members all watching that server farm side, the side of
Right.
the map. So it seems like if you're gonna make that kind of play, one, don't get picked off in the beginning, just
Mhm.
walking in. It seems like that was kind of unfortunate. Maybe after that, maybe unfortunately, maybe he was the casualty of that. But once you get that first person picked off, maybe at that point you need Floggle to make a play so that you can even make that initial push in the server farm in the first place. But hey, that's all the past at this point. We're on to back on the bank, and again, it's
Back
a
on.
it's a it's a vault you can sit in.
Yes, and real quick, I want to give a quick shout outs to our production leader Simber here for showing a great view of the main lobby because it is the Christmas theme, and I'm just kind of changing gears real fast. There are Christmas trees in the middle of the lobby, and I love it. It's all festive. It is gorgeous. And now we can come back to yes, fall is in the main air, the main lobby here, and the kind of yeah, exactly. The standard play is to kind of go through accounting, clear, get the button, and then as long as you have as long as you can clear out manager you're pretty much good to go because all you got to deal with then at that point is maybe security and you're good to go. I mean, as long as you can lock down pretty much this half of the map,
Yeah, I
forwards,
would say like
you're
going
good to go.
for entrance at this point really doesn't make sense much because it's such
No,
a difficult
no.
way to go through manager and get into accounting. So it seems
Right.
like Bethany going for that back door is a more of a better plan. But again, like this part, like they signal this part here in accounting is kind of a big one. If they can grenade that spot or
Mhm.
flash it, push that player out, pre-fire them out of the position. Because otherwise you're gonna be walking into a choke point, and then someone could just pre-fire around that corner.
And I do want to point this out because it is kind of important. It does look like the Yakuza boys are going to be trying to go for a bit of a sandwich here. They want to open this red door, but they also want to try and go, yeah, three through the vents. I like this idea just because again, it forces the global breakout team to be even more compact than they were already planning. They have a guy in manager. They're going to have two in entrance. They're
Hmm.
not going to be the right spot for this. They're going to be kind of
Yeah, I'm
actually
about to
out
say
of
they're putting
position.
a lot of focus on here. I thought they were gonna put more focus on here because they have the barbed wire and
Well, and
everything, but
here's
I
the
guess
thing,
not.
Ghetto's gonna kind
Oh,
of.
never
Oh no,
mind.
he's gonna hear. Okay, he's gonna kick. I was gonna say if he had kind of hung out at entrance and made a bunch of noise, he could have actually baited pretty well. But yeah, they're gonna have what is we got three people watching
Well,
entrance
they're
right now.
making noise on entrance, so they might still think they're going for it. You see, Colin has the a
Mhm.
Molotov in hand, so they need to take this chance to push up. And you see, Coop and Tommy are very slow. They're taking it slow. They're taking it stealthy, but Render's still got that hand at Molotov. So this is kind of where it's up to the guys in the vents to now make a noise and start pushing people out. Because if they can
Well,
catch Colin off a rotate, he's rotating
mm.
through security. He rotates back into hall. These are the people they need to catch off guard.
Well, they need to start making a play here because they've already burned almost half of the match time already. It's 125 left on the clock, and they need at least
Oh,
a total of 20 seconds to get the vault open and then get inside, assuming there isn't someone basically at the entrance. But so far, not a whole lot has been cleared. Pleb
oh,
is
they're
still
pushing
sticking.
through.
Okay, he finally moves away from that door. I was gonna say he is really like
Where is
dead
Tommy?
set.
Oh, Tommy is finally pushing through. Floggo and Ghetto right here. Position. This is
Oh,
this
it's
is a
gonna be a
pinch.
mess.
This pinch is great though. One player goes down. Can they get Pluto? Pluto is just kind of
Pleb's
stuck
out
in the
of
corner there.
position.
Oh, excellent. Dude, great job from Pleb though.
Oh,
Here's the mop in hand. Can he get a second person? No, he can't, unfortunately. Now it's on the Argo and Colin. Button's been hit. So now it's up to the attack to push through the lobby into the vault. Argo and Colin are maybe in a spot to try and stop this from happening.
Colin, this could be a bit weird.
Oh, Colin.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was worried about. I don't think he realized that he was getting rotated on, and all that's left is Arco. This is a great response here from Yakuza and Floggle. Okay, he still is probably gonna. No, he's just gonna roll in there. They know that he's in manager, and Ghetto is ready.
Yeah, wow. What a shot from Coop
Hello
there.
and
Ugh.
goodbye.
But really, that just came down to the fact that again, like we saw the initial push, and they seem to be all waiting for that accounting push. And the people who were playing security would be Colin or Argo who were playing lobby, playing security, didn't rotate, knowing because you saw Colin pre-fire, knowing he jumped on the
They
bed, right?
definitely heard. Colin had
Yeah,
to have
they
heard them
definitely heard they
stomping
were
around
in
the map.
hall, but they didn't
Absolutely.
take a flank. They didn't try to help their teammates out in that initial push. So the
Mhm.
players in accounting get pinched in accounting, and well, the only person to get a kill was Pleb because he had the mop in hand.
Yeah, then Coop did the same.
Yeah, and that's the problem. That's
And
the
that,
issue is
oh,
that the fact that again, that's the eye jilling part. You need to be able to
yep.
call and understand the push there, and that was just the unfortunate part is being able to understand, being able to predict. I wasn't
Mm.
even predicting even because that should have been obvious that they were going to push the hallway to counting after they opened up the red door.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. But we are switching over now. Again, we I think I can't wait for EK to kind of circle back with his review because I mean there is so much to unpack on that one round alone is just the kind of like the depth that we are seeing from these teams. But we're on C store. It's Foul Lion. It's a very stinky lion, I guess.
That
Uh,
freezer though was nice though. You can see a
Oh, yeah, that's dirty. Well, actually, I mean, depending on how kind of hardcore they want to go, you open red, you open wall, and I mean, you got yourself an absolute kill, a killing line here. Which it
depends. Yeah,
wouldn't.
depends how they want to do it. If they push through stores like the look they're going to do,
Oh yeah,
I think
I
shutters
agree. I agree
they
with this
might want
though.
to saving that wall charge for later on.
What else would they? I mean, they would probably have to do it here because this is the last round for the quarter.
Oh, it's left. My bad. So
Yeah,
yeah, they're terrible at
it's
that.
done this so many times. I was like, what?
Or it depends if
No,
they wanna I guess it depends, yeah, it depends how they wanna do it, yeah. We'll see what happens though, because they also could wall charge into through fridge into
oh,
site.
that would be absolutely. That'd be so big brain, and
Yeah, that would see
it could work.
that sounds like a better play too, rather than opening up shutter. Because if you can take control
Mhm.
of tellers, then you can take control of freezer and open that up.
Oh no, absolutely. Freezer is kind of if you have to open a red door, freezer is the right way to go because you also can,
Yeah.
all you need to do is grenade bathroom, and then you also have this kind of the other rotation. Then all you need to do is just sit one guy here, watch his storage, and you're
Yep.
pretty much covered on all angles besides maybe tellers.
So at that point, yeah, it might be better just to open up fridge and just go for the bomb
Hmm.
plant instead, and
Hmm.
just maybe just have someone watch this angle, and
Oh,
then you have
absolutely,
someone watch for
absolutely.
tellers rotate. That could be a really good play from them. But again, we'll see what happens though, what they do. Because the only thing we know so far is they're gonna push that red door.
Render's got himself. Hang on. Look at how these guys are stacked up. Yep, that's exactly what I was worried about. They're going to open up the shutters, except it doesn't matter as long as they just don't take the bait. Don't take the bait, Tiger. Okay, no, there's no one.
Yeah,
No
so
one else.
if they don't want to open up the shutters with that wall charge, they're not even gonna walk that side anyway, too.
No, but Pleb is going to see, and this. Yeah, this is what I'm worried about. Oh my.
Oh, Tiga's going for the
That's
bait, isn't he? Oh, he's taking the
yeah,
fight.
it's hard bait. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's Saber.
Oh,
That is the tastiest bait any defender could ever want to go after.
yeah, Tiga's got 22 HP now. That's
But
unfortunate.
Axe is just going to wait for him though, and they're going to start to collapse on this.
Oh,
Argo is in a great spot
yeah.
for a
So
potential.
this is kind of Pleb now. Pleb's kind of stuck in a position though right now. Oh, great shots from Colin though. Colin peeks the window, peeks the door, helps out Argo. Pleb's trying to push in there, but yeah, as I thought, Pleb was kind of position where he had to
October.
hold that. He gets taken out. Nobody's to his aid. Colin pre-firing through the freezer, try and find somebody. Argo with the shotty, and that's
They
huge.
closed.
He takes one only though.
Tyga's out of position. They closed shutters, and now he's just on the wrong side of the map.
Yeah, I don't. Again, I don't think the shutter should have been the main point for the entire
No.
team. This is kind of the issue when it comes to teams and having that eye gelling to know what the plan is exactly. And it seemed like Tiger may have been falling out of place, unfortunately.
Well, I think I like the idea of the initial bait because I mean it pulled the entire defending team south to try and get. They're like, "Yo, we want this saber dead." But then I was like, "Okay, good. That's been shutters have been closed. Now let's just reset and get going." Because now Ghetto's trying to make some magic happen here, but Render's in a great corner angle. Collins in a great quarter, to just deal with it. And X has got this long angle, and X is confident to try and kill Taiga with this KR.
Zangetto's dead too. Like
Ooh.
especially, I think it all fell into place once they lost initially those fights.
Hmm.
Flago going down, Tommy trying to push in initially too, on top of losing it. And really, maybe if you had that, that saber on this side of the map, you could have stopped Colin from winning that fight when he swung the
Yeah,
bathroom too.
yeah.
So it's like initially, like sure, it's nice because you push those defenders out, but even in the end, no matter what, they were gonna know you're coming from that side once you open up that freezer door.
So even in the end, it doesn't even matter because now
Please don't play say lyrics. Get out of here. Someone get him off this broadcast.
I had to. You started it. I had to. It's the rules.
It's not the rules. It's the rules if you were born in freaking 2000, apparently.
Hit right. Boomer damage.
Yeah. Freaking hell, man.
All right. So back on factory. We did see dome. Okay. Um, so yeah, teams are going to be switching up. Now we're obviously going to have global breakout on the attack and
Well, this has been
Yakuza
the
on the.
first. Hey, this is the first match in the three though, where someone hasn't started 3
Yes,
out.
well, I wanted to point that out when we were talking about it. This was a much scrappier first couple rounds though. Much
Yeah, this is
scrappier.
a much different 3 rounds compared to the other two
Hmm.
matches before this. Yeah, and it's been good. It's been the teams are now trying to adapt and figure things out, but
Yep.
in the end, it's still interesting to see who comes out on top on these ones when they figure things out in the end. And really, it's just again, Yakuza just they don't seem to be that strat heavy, which is the issue. The depth of the strat seems to be very shallow. So a lot of these
Mm,
strats are really easily figured out by Global Breakout, despite them playing well as a team, despite the team creation, despite the good gunplay.
mhm. And I'm very this is a I don't want to say it's a huge gamble, but pushing like this, if they are genuinely serious about going five in on Pipeworks, I mean, the good news is they already kind of called out all the potential risks locations. But one Molotov, you got a Saber, and then maybe an Igmar sitting in walkway. This entire push gets completely squat. It's basically a repeat of server farm that Global Breakout did, except it's a little bit safer, or it's a little bit more risky because there's no way they can throw a grenade to potentially kill or break the barbed wire or the mop player that might be sitting there. So we'll have to see how they plan to execute on this because there's a lot more, I would almost say, exposure and risk associated by going pure pipe works like this.
If they make it quick though, because they're all focused once again, they're doing the same thing that we saw from Global Breakout. They're
If yeah,
focusing on
if
server
they just
farm.
straight bull line it, yes. But again, then it comes down to how the Yakuza guys play in terms of the reaction. Because again, one Molotov, even if it's like right here, completely stops the entire push. Because then
Well, you
your
could
guys
just
have to
walk
stay
on
up.
pipes though. Yeah, I don't know. It depends.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you. I think it comes down to gunfights though. If they can make that initial entry, they can
Hmm.
pick off either Flago or Ghetto playing this position, and then they can push straight. And again, it depends on if they read it though. Is Yakuza going to be able to read this that they're pushing all for that entry into fans? Are they going to be able to
We've
understand that?
breached.
Well,
Tyga's
there's the
gonna
breach.
drop down,
Oh, Art was down
and
elsewhere by the green door. Explicit goes down too. Pleb has one shot, but there's no saber in hand there, and
yep.
the only long range fights was Atar. Atar loses out. Collins left now all alone as every single member died on his side. It's a 1v4 at this point. I say two.
And
1v4.
that's exactly what I was talking. Oh, okay, hang on. Colin's not done just yet. I was thinking it was
This
gonna
is
be okay.
Ingmar. There's
There
no
we
way he's
go.
winning that.
Well, we've seen crazier things from Render, so.
He was low in HP. There's a guy coming to his right, the other to his left.
Oh
It
yeah,
just
no, he
didn't
was definitely a
work.
goner, but that's why I was like, I don't know about this push. This to me is the kind of like goober thing I would do, where
That's
it's
why I
like, all
said though
right,
the problem with this initial
cowabunga.
push is that they have to get that initial pick though.
Yeah.
So one, there was no saber. I thought they're bringing a saber. I didn't see a saber in handed by anybody walking into that.
No, there was no saber, but I don't think a saber would have really saved them. I mean, all you need is a black
Well, the
tar
thing is,
walking off it.
if they have the saber in hand, they can cut off an entire side because they can make sure they can guarantee those kills. So now you have to only worry about one other section, which is those walkways.
Yes, but that's also where a lot of them were playing. It was like what? Taiga was sitting on the top, he dropped down, and then they
Yeah, but
had.
in the initial part on that drop
Mm,
though,
mm.
we had multiple members of the team die in the initial drop just coming out of pipes.
Yes, yes, yes,
And
yes.
that's my problem is that you couldn't even cover docks in the first place. So the member playing docks or playing office were already doing damage which could have been stopped in the first place. That's
Mm.
initial damage that could have been stopped by a saber.
Well, or even, just throw a smoke and just,
Yeah,
smoke
or
yourself
smoke,
into
something,
just
just
a little bit
something
more
just to,
coverage. Yeah,
yeah,
there was
something
there
to
was
stop
really
that.
just kind of a disrespectful, like, I'm gonna just run in, and that I don't wanna say the BM of it, but they
No,
kinda
I would
just
say
ran
I'm not gonna
in.
say it's disrespectful, but it's just you're almost expecting nobody to play that dock
Yeah.
office area, which is an oversight, a massive oversight on the side
Well, and that's why I
the
say
side of
it's a disrespect because there's the assumption that they're gonna be just sitting in green like, the, global breakout guys were, and they're like, "Oh, we'll be fine. We'll just run in, clean it,
well,
and
you
we'll be
say that,
done." But
that's what literally what Gold Breakout did though. Well, not Gold Breakout, that's literally what Yakuza did when their attack is run all
yeah,
through green door.
yeah, well, like, they gotta learn. They gotta learn, man.
So, I'm not gonna call it disrespectful per se, but it just seems like maybe a lack of thought that they would be able to, because unfortunately the
Cognitive
only person,
function.
or maybe the fact that they thought that one person could win those
Mm.
fights with a tar, which is a lot of thought for one tar to
That's a
do.
confident assumption there.
Yeah,
Jeez.
that's a very confident assumption that you could win those fights with a tar from that far.
Mhm.
That's a big one because it's not like because sure, if you maybe hit Ingmar, you had like a defender weapon, you're gonna lose to that. There's no way you're gonna win that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, moving into factory, geez, alright, sorry.
Yeah, this is factory, right? Yeah.
Yeah, this is factory. You got, toxic over here and, docs. So we're here on bank, and again, it's looking like a very similar kind of setup. Now, the real question is gonna be, though, how does
I also
Yakuza
no lines
adapt to it?
towards fence though.
Yeah.
It seems to be an entry push and a counter
Well, they
push.
moved the door charge,
The
but
door
they're
charges comes
committing.
with
Oh, they're
entrance. I
gonna
told
commit
you.
entrance.
Yeah,
Okay,
I told you.
so
It looks like an entrance and a counting push.
but they don't have a
Oh, they only have one door
red.
charge actually. So are
Yeah,
they
they only
all
have
going
one red
entrance?
though. Yeah,
And this is the
it's gonna
same
be
play where they're having, well, not the same play, but they have one person in vault. They have four people playing in the back. So now
yeah.
this is the same Yakuza play where they just hide they just wait for
Mhm.
the attack to make their play.
All right, well, that's 2 flashes wasted. No one's in here. They didn't really check for it, and they're just yeah. I like this play from Yakuza though. They're letting them come into these CQB situations where yeah, a grenade will probably do some damage, but it's gonna only clear. They have to use it to clear the barbed wire. If they don't, then they're gonna be rolling into Tommy, who's got the auto shotty. X
Well, it
is
looks like Ghetto's
super
getting
late
aggressive.
into
That's
this.
pretty crazy. Ghetto peeks out, tries to find a pick. He's peeking out once again. Ku's got another Molotov to stop the initial push through the doorway. But yeah, the only barbed wire is in the window though, so they still can make them walk in here. The problem is, yeah, like you said, Tommy with the auto shotty.
Tommy with the
That's the kind
shotty.
of the big thing there.
Mhm.
And they don't
And
have a
I
grenade.
love real quick, I love this, like, gun trade or this gun
Oh,
stare
yeah.
down with X and Floggle. They are just, like, waiting for each other. One
That's
sneeze
one
wrong
way
and
to make a move. But yeah, no, the
yeah,
grenade here
exactly.
needs to be used properly because they don't actually have to destroy that barbed wire. If they can kill Tommy and make the push through the Ghetto and Ku, this could work out. They just need to know where to throw it
There's
though.
only 50 seconds left. They have to do something, though.
That's true. I meant before this. Apparently they haven't done anything. Well, Ku goes down though. Great job, Clef.
Oh,
Got
Tommy,
two
here
great
comes
entry.
Tommy.
Ah,
Oh,
no,
baby.
Tommy's crazy. Tommy's insane. He gets two, but he gets tagged out. So that's an issue now because now there's only 40 seconds left. If Explicit can win the fight on Flago and they can finally get that button open, they could try to turn their attention towards Tika Man.
They still have to hit the button, though.
That's what I'm saying.
And
Someone needs
Ghetto
to rush
got
him
him.
though.
Nope, that's it. Ghetto
That's it.
just
That's it.
secured basically this round.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like
Yeah, that's it.
if Explicit could have killed Flago and gotten in, that could have been a change and get that
Club
button
got to
cleared.
run.
Yeah.
Oh, they even dropped Saber.
Yee.
Oh, baby, that's not good.
Yee. That is not good at all. I think
And
that's what I was saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yakuza.
Yeah. And so the initial part was they didn't have to throw the barbed wire.
Mhm.
They could have left that because it's on the window. Who cares about the window? If they once they bait out the Molotovs, they could grenade this corner and make sure nobody's playing it, and then just push out and win the fights on the people inside accounting. And then if Explicit could at least hold off Flago from flanking, because that would be the initial part as Flago comes for the support, they could have turned that round down. But again, it's the difference between stalling and setting up.
Well, I think that they were doing a bit of setting up, getting ready for the push, but then again, it felt like they didn't want to move. It
That's
was like,
stalling.
okay,
That's the definition of stalling.
well, it's how do I phrase this? They had again, you were talking about the grenade and the flash. Like I would have actually preferred that they had thrown it into the corner, cleared the corner because they had the flash to throw in, but no one wanted to throw the flash. And yeah, I see where you're going with the stalling point. So I do agree with your point, your position on it. But it just oh my, that's like the second or third time that they've done that now.
That's the issue. Is just that it's like sure setting up is one thing. Like if you were to have someone go towards or have pleb or someone go help
Mhm.
explicit to set up a different push to let them then throw the grenade, throw the flash in there and make that initial push, that would make more sense to me. But nobody moved. Nobody did anything. That is stalling. That is the definition of stalling. In the end, that's like that's the one thing that sucks is that like see both teams, well not both teams. The Yakuza seems to go as one whole unit most of the time. Most of the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then on the side of like Breakout will sometimes have somebody go off on their own, and they'll maybe send 2 or 1, but I
Mm.
think 2 or 3 is better than 1. 1, I feel like it just doesn't do anything.
Well, and that's we've seen that every time with X. X has I'm very confident X is their kind of roamer slash anti roamer, and that's kind of his deal, if that makes sense. Where
Yeah.
they kind of assume to play with four, and that's kind of that's their wolf pack. They play as four, and then X is kind of their lone wolf slash playmaker. But in this case, their playmaker got shut down, and so again, the robots didn't know how to avoid dividing by zero, and so they kind of just got stuck installed.
It's just unfortunate because you once you sit and you see the Molotovs coming out, you can't just sit there and let the Molotovs be baited out. You
No,
just
because now
wasted too much
Floggle's got a
time.
saber.
Yeah, like
Like,
you can't. Oh yeah, Floggo looking to just Floggo's got a saber. Oh my, a saber and a mop. You are
no,
not. You got.
this yeah, this is about as stacked as it can
Well,
get.
let's see. So they're
Albeit
probably
if
gonna
they had a
open up. I'm
clacker,
assuming
maybe.
they're gonna open shutters, right? Because they have a wall
No,
charge, don't they?
why? Why would they?
Oh, they have no clacker. They have no clacker.
Yeah, they don't. They lost both clackers.
Yeah, that's I forgot about that. So they
So
literally
there's
can't make
only
this
one
push.
way they can come, and baby, it ain't gonna be pretty.
Well, let's see. Hey, they got the shot on. Argo's gonna push in. Good smoke actually. Smoke
Ooh,
actually goes through the wall,
failed
which
Molly.
is definitely kind of weird. They might want to change that later on, but that kind of cuts off Floggo from watching that doorway, which could help Argo push in, but he's not pushing in. Oh, now he
That
is.
grenade was so nice. All the barbed
Okay.
wire.
Oh, Ku. Wait, oh, kill Ku. Yeah, Ku
Uh,
gets a kill. What? He's so flash in that corner. He wins a fight somehow. Colin will refrag, but still damage done. And they have control bathroom. They take an office, but with Tigaman with a long range with that mop, Floggo can probably hold freezer as well. He's
oh,
gonna make sure
just wall
Tigaman doesn't
banged
get.
him.
Oh wow, he gets wallbang too. As long as Tigaman doesn't get flanked here, and do Floggo with a
Oh,
great shot through the freezer. Oh my, what is Floggo doing?
okay, that's a throw.
That
Hang
was
on.
why did Floggo just rush in there? That
Floggle
now
was
it's actually
stealing
possible
himself
to
a
win
little
this,
hard.
actually. Yeah, now they can win this, actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, absolutely.
That
They
was
see. Oh
oh,
god, Ghetto
Ghetto,
needs to know
Ghetto,
about.
Ghetto.
No, they didn't. Did they not see each other? No, Colin has
They
to
might
know.
not know. The door is closed, I think. That's why, yeah.
He
Or
had to
maybe
report him
yeah.
though,
Yeah, no, the
because he
door's
was
closed. Door's
sprinting.
closed. Yeah, the door is closed. He didn't see him. So now it's
50
on. Oh,
seconds.
Ghetto gets aggressive. He kills
Oh,
Render on the
okay.
rotate. Colin pushes in. He
Ghetto
wins
goes
the fight
so
against
hot.
Colin as well, and that's just. Woo boy.
Okay. First off, someone get a newspaper to smack Floggle over the head for almost throwing the round there. That was just, again, that's
I don't
standing
know
next
what
to
he was
a red
doing.
door getting clacked
I don't
on.
know what he was doing there. He just ran a freezer like he was Rambo, and I'm like, wait,
Yeah,
what?
man thought he was playing Doom or something with that kind of a gun. Holy cow! But I do want to point out he did wallbang X with the saber. I mean, that's just dirty. That is dirty, and it was a lot closer than it should have been. I'll be honest with you. That should have been a much easier round for
Yeah,
them. But
once he hits that wall bang and Flago is sitting, he could Flago holds the flank with Tiga. Tiga
just watch,
holds the
just
push.
watch the fridge. Yeah.
Yeah, he just would either watch Fridge or and then he just have Tiga watches the office push.
Mhm.
Ghetto's got a position to watch if they push from the freezer outward inward out into the storefront, and you're done.
Yeah.
And
Then
it just and then but the Flago just
Floggle
rushes to the
chose
freezer like he's
Cowabunga life.
yeah, I just cowabungas in the freezer and he's dead, and you're like,
Yeah, yeah, it was just like, okay, that was an option. It wasn't a good one, but it was an option, I
Good, well,
guess.
good thing Ghetto's got his AK game on because he just finished the
Yeah,
round for him.
thank goodness, thank goodness. But again, that's kind of what we're seeing from oh my goodness, look at all the drawing going on. I love that. Good thing, again, Yakuza's just they're not they're not having one guy go crazy. It's just their team is just doing well, you know.
Exactly, that's the point. That's why it's like their team is they're as a team they're doing a lot better than Glow Breakout.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately,
Oh, absolutely,
argumentatively,
absolutely.
really. But this now we go on to a different set now. Or actually, yeah, we go into a whole entire new set now, and this could be a chance for Glow Breakout to bring it back. But we're 4-2 in the favor of Yakuza, and they could just end it here. But again, this depends on what map sites that I'm not sure it's going to be like so far because you just started it.
Well, if they can perfect their defense round, which is, I mean, we've seen it from them on the previous sets, it is very doable. They could just close it out on these 3 rounds.
We'll see though.
So
Hey, we'll see though, because I
it's
don't know what the all these maps keep changing, and I don't know what's going on
if
anymore.
it's popsicle, it's possible. All right, Benny. And right now,
What the heck is Floggo
okay,
doing?
what the hell?
Oh,
Floggle, you
wait,
good?
he shot. How many shoots did he shot? How many shots did he shoot?
He definitely at least emptied an entire mag. He's down
Oh, I
to
guess
6.
he only
And guess
brought
what?
one
He
mag
didn't bring
though.
any extra magazines.
Yeah, I guess that's. Oh, I
Oh,
guess make it so that you can't take it. That's actually a good call, actually. Because you only need like
Yeah,
you only
I
get it because
guess,
realistically,
but
once you get into a fight, how many shots are you gonna use when you get into a fight with of the auto shotty?
probably about 6, but I also see him playing by himself here, and
Yeah, so he's playing to die. He's playing to get a kill, and that's it.
I
And so they
don't
can't
agree
use the
with
auto
that.
shotty after that.
Yakuza has shown that they do much better as a team instead of individuals, and
I agree. I
I
agree. So
don't like
it's
the
again, I can see the reason for the play. I'm just giving you the reason. That's all I'm
Oh,
saying.
no, yeah, no, I get it, I don't like it.
Yeah, let's see.
I
Let's
don't
see.
like
Let's see. Again, if it doesn't work out, then you can say, "Wow, that
3
was
in.
stupid."
Yeah. Well, if
That's
it works, then he gets praise. If it doesn't, then
yeah.
we again,
That's the point.
newspaper.
Hey, if it works, it isn't stupid, right?
Yep, exactly.
But the
Well,
thing is, not the issue is someone goes to that window, he's screwed.
yeah, he's goner, and here we go.
Oh wait, Coop has. Oh no, Coop doesn't know the window
Nope,
play, and now Floggo's
nope.
gonna kill two from that same angle. So now
Yep.
Argo allows him to push through. Ghetto and Tiedemann have to make this play work out and stop this backstage push. One kill goes in the failure. That's great from them, but now they're gonna back off. Pre-fires on the pleb, heavy damage on back and forth, but they can back off. Tommy's. Oh no, Tommy picked the window too, and down goes Ghetto the same window.
Colin
But
is
Colin is
ace.
literally killing everyone from the window. He leads the ace. Give him the ace. Come on, guys. Give him the ace. No, no. Oh,
Well,
wait, no,
oh,
no.
jeez, I thought he might actually do it. I thought Taiga was about to, quad himself, and that would have been the battle of the aces.
That would be crazy. But no, Colin with a 4K and all from the courtyard side. He
Yeah,
kills two for the windows, two from these windows.
they
And that's it.
didn't. I'm very confused. Did Coop not see the shotgun blast?
He might not have because he was focused on this side. He was focused on this window. So he
Well,
might not have heard
There's
heard
no,
or seen
there
it.
would have been no reason for him to watch here. He might have been watching here,
I think
and
yeah,
that
it was
would
either
have been a
here.
blind
I know,
spot to
the
the
thing is,
door.
he was focused. When I looked at him, he was focused towards this angle, like towards this side, for whatever reason.
Was he checking his phone for memes or something? Why was he
Don't
looking
ask
this
me,
way?
dude.
What?
I don't
What?
ask me, dude. I don't know what he was looking at. I don't know what he was looking at. All I know is
Ay,
that he was not. He was 100% not aware
that,
that someone was at this
mm,
window and just shot him in the side.
that felt. I don't know what's going on Yakuza's side, but they're starting to throw. They're starting to do weird, janky stuff, and I really don't like that. They've been
Honestly,
playing.
no. See, the thing is, I wasn't really weird or janky. That was just totally just unaware. Just a lack of communication. It seems like from the side of
Well, that's
Yakuza.
what something shifted inside their team, and it's not
And
getting
to me, it just
addressed.
seems like again that map. The thing with that map though is that that map seems like a map you couldn't play passive. That's my issue, and that's what we've seen from Yakuza is playing passive. That's been their focal point so far. And I feel like for that map, you can't play passive with the amount of windows. And that seems to be maybe that was the issue is that they all playing passive. They're all sitting back and waiting, and then they wait, and then they look over, and there's a guy at the window that shoots him in the face.
Hmm. Yeah,
So, but again, it's early. It's still the first round of the set, though. So I'm not going to call it just yet. I feel like you shouldn't be calling it just either, but we'll see
I
what happens. If you go another round and it's another
if I don't, that's
dominating
why
win,
I'm pointing it out because it is a concern.
it is a concern, yes. But it's again, every team has their one round where they maybe screw up and they forget things happen, but it's only one round. If it
We
happens
haven't
again,
seen
though,
that. This is the
if
first
it's
time
a,
we've seen something so goofy, though, is my point. It's more of like it was
uh,
something. Maybe it was like you said. Maybe it was just purely just because of the map was, as you said, it was a very you have to be aggressive on this map. But Kildome, we've got a castle, and as the old saying goes, if you ignore castle, you will be punished by castle. And it looks like Global Breakout's actually be trying to go for a beach jungle push. So, well, let's see if respecting the disrespecting castle will pay off for them.
it depends, I guess. I guess what are they bringing? So they have an Ingmar in hand because they won the last round. So they have
Yeah,
some long range weapons from the defense.
yeah.
They could if it
They
depends if
have
they bring
Black
them up or
Saber.
not.
Yeah, they have Black Saber.
Yeah, so Tigerman has the op though, but the mop though. But thing is, they have like the Ingmar, they have a Saber, they have Tars. They could win those fights against Castle.
It's possible. The only problem I also see is this is a very small area unless they just completely dive in, and Tika's actually going to be in by red.
He's playing. I guess he's
Uh,
gonna play this spot, maybe. Maybe no, he's
mm,
gonna play this spot. What the?
okay.
Interesting.
Oh,
I
well,
guess this could be a problem because he doesn't have any short range.
he's got no short range, and if they really do dive him, they'll. I
They can
think
just
he's.
grenade him for anything too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No,
They can
absolutely.
just grenade him out of that position, and then you lose your mop, and that's kind of the issue there. They're gonna push right straight into beach though, plebs. So this is a big thing. Having
They're almost
pleb.
expecting a power push. Look, they've got a barbed wire in pit, and they've got two guys sitting pit. They're not expecting a jungle push like this. This is completely off of what they were expecting. That's why Taiga Man was all the way in jungle. They were expecting pit.
So this is an issue. So it's call it doesn't have there's no grenade, but there is a Molotov. So the Molotov will at least cut him off, and plebs taking heavy shots on the Tiger's position. That's the issue with having beach though, is that long angles now. So anybody peeks their head out inside a jungle is gonna get shot out. Tommy's trying to help out Tiga because he's getting pushed from the jungle side. And now the members on the side of Yakuza have to move though. These members need to move.
Absolutely. And Argo's actually sneaking his way through base here. I don't think that they're aware of him because both players are currently. Okay, no, they do find him. They do find him.
Nice.
Very nice pick, but Taiga dies to Pleb, and now their
Yeah,
mop is
that's a huge
gone.
thing. Yeah, pleb is a huge thing though, because he can just deny any rotates from Tommy or Ku out of castle, and if they
Yeah.
go for that bomb defusal, oh, but yo, Ghetto's a big one though.
Oh,
Ghetto and
Tommy's
Tommy are
big.
holding it down though, getting with the seconds, and that's huge. They deny the entire push from that side. Tommy and Ghetto holding down the fort. Floggo Stone Pit, he's been sitting in the entire match for whatever reason, and pleb's probably. I'm assuming he's gonna hold the saber. I don't know if he's gonna want to go
Yeah,
and take a fight or not.
there's no reason either of these
Yeah.
defenders or the attacker should really push. At this point, it's kind of a natural stalemate almost. There's no
Yeah, but
reason
really, that
Pleb.
was just on Tommy Ghetto though. That was crazy. That Tommy Ghetto with a Gruber
Oh yeah,
or two
great
Grubers.
great defense. They held
Yeah,
what should have been a sandwich situation.
yeah, that should have been a failure, especially because Tiga's
Yeah.
dead. That should have been around for them because they just had
Oh,
two Grubers. They didn't have any crazy guns either.
no, no, you don't need it when you're a gamer. You don't need it.
Yeah, apparently not. Yeah,
And
they're coming out with Tars
Tommy
and
face
Sabers.
checks the door just to make sure that he can go and grab Mop because he knows exactly where the last guy, where Pleb
Yeah,
is.
that's crazy because
That
they had
is
Tars and
confident.
APs, and it's just Grubers all to win that.
Yeah. Well,
Sheesh, dude.
welcome to this level where the impossible is possible when you've got a Gruber and a Gruber.
So are you still worried about Yakuza now?
Yes, because again, they the reason they won was because of that, they resisted the sandwich. They were able to hold off, but they made the wrong read. They were expecting power.
It would have been as bad if like Floggo had moved, but at the same point, like yeah, again, my issue is the fact that nobody really moved after knowing that they'd
Mhm.
opened up jungle, they'd opened up
Yeah,
beach,
Flogo's sitting in pit. I mean, it was a 5v4 basically.
pretty much, yeah. And he didn't move the castle, he'd go for a flank, or even because the thing is,
I
if he
mean,
went for
all
a
this
flank
and
though,
we didn't need him.
he might. Hmm, it depends. Like I do agree. The issue is that like nobody
It
moves though. Like
depends. They
it's
didn't.
still
You sat there
if
in pit.
Floggo had moved earlier though, that's the thing. If Floggo had moved earlier, knowing that nobody's gonna open up pit into base and waited for a position to fight off pleb, because the thing is, if he moved at a point where pleb is already on top of the beach, he's just gonna get picked off. You're walking into an entryway that the sniper's watching.
Well, and I think that's why he sat there. He was expecting Argo to come instead of going through base. He was expecting him to come pit, and that's the
Yeah.
whole reason he sat there. Now, I think once again, then his whole mentality was, if I just sit here, someone is probably going to rotate. I don't
Mm,
think that the Yakuza guys called how many people were where because
yeah.
they weren't sure how many people were sitting jungle or that were pushing through jungle. That's why he
And
just
the
sat there
issue
for
really
an
comes to play
hour.
when Tiga dies though, because once Tiga dies, that's when I feel like Floggo should have made a move, really.
Mm.
Because once
Yeah,
you
that's
lose that
no, that's
off in the
fair. That's
corner.
fair.
Yeah, and that's where I feel like there should have been a call to have him do something because
Mhm.
he's just sitting in pit, and if Ghetto and Tommy didn't do what they did, it could have been a very different story.
Oh, well,
The fact
absolutely. I
that
mean, that's
Ghetto gets two sitting there, Tommy kills Argo pushing through base, and Argo was just kind of underneath the windows where Ku can't do anything, sitting inside a castle. Very different story. So to me, yeah, just
absolutely.
again, IGLing and being able to call when somebody can rotate is a hard thing to do.
Yes, and we're on Divine Kaiser for this factory map for the last round for the defender side of Yakuza, and
That's
they're
actually
coming
funny.
out
It's
strong.
Divine Kaiser, and Kaiser's a Japanese word.
Hey, rip.
And Yakuza's playing it on it.
Well, this is going to be an important round for them. I mean, if they can get one more on defense, they're going to be extremely confident going into their attacking rounds, and I think rightly so. Yakuza, ooh, please don't do that.
He opened the oh, Tigeman's getting
Yeah,
aggressive
I know
now.
he did. It was just like, oh, please.
He's
Oh,
trying to seal the deal already in
oh,
this round.
baby. Oh,
He's
yeah.
trying to seal the deal on this round
I
already
respect
early.
it.
Oh my
I
god. Oh,
respect
is
it.
Argo gonna run into it though? Argo may have heard that, so I wonder if
Ye-
he's gonna. Oh, there's no way, right?
No
There's no way.
respect. There's no
Oh, he
respect.
ran into it. No, you say no respect, but I see. I
Wow.
hate when people say respect or disrespect. It's just, to me, it's more like they just forget. They get
They just need to
complacent.
throw a safety smoke. That's all they really need to do. I mean, come on. Like, that's at the timing of this, that is such an obvious, like, he needed
It
to
should have been. It's
respect
just a
the fact that there was.
complacency. It's such
Yeah.
complacency where you're too comfortable. Too comfortable.
As if it didn't happen to him earlier in this same series.
That's true too, as well. I feel like especially at this point in the round, you should not be comfortable with just running around the corner expecting to be safe.
I- well, I mean, hey, that's fine by Yakuza, man. They're fine with that. Coop underneath. They're gonna wait for him to push this or probably grenade it. And yeah, you got your two ranged boys watching the.
Is that grenade gonna damage? Oh wait, there's actually big wall charge in a server
There
farm.
we go.
Oh, nice one. Tommy goes down. Ku's freaking blind as
Coop
heck.
is
He's
cleaned.
dead. He's so dead. That's actually a great push in a server farm using that wall charge. And now it's just in the saber in hand too, and they take out Floggo. Tiki Man's got to be the man to make a way because he's got an AK in hand. He's close. He's gonna wait for a position, get in a good
Yeah,
position to
Geto's
try to
gonna need to
stop
sit.
this.
Geto's gonna need to sit close, and then it's just gonna be on Tiga to just watch these two. Well, actually, these three
Yeah,
angles
the
basically.
walkway here is a big one. If they can
Mhm.
take a walkway and just push closer to Tiga to win that fight because he's got them up, it depends though. Actually, they could just
Great.
push on the
No,
side as well.
this smoke is nice. I really like that smoke because now
Oh
they're in
yeah,
for
they could
free.
just dude, they could just walk in the
Yeah,
corner
they're
at
in for
this
free.
point. Yeah, they're in for
Ghetto.
free. Ghetto's a 1v3. He's no way he's gonna win that fight. Yeah, he's dead. Tiga's close by one. Saber on his left. First on his right.
Good. But there we go. X with
Great.
the again 2v1 them.
That server farm push was huge though, actually.
Yeah, that was an app that literally changed the outcome of the game.
Yeah,
Or
that was just
round,
a
excuse
great
me.
push. Get 2 picks off of the flash because the flash took both of them down, or just blinded both of them. And next thing you know, you're in walking and take out two, and next thing you know, you're in that you reconvene and take out Floggo too. That long shot
Yeah,
from there to
I think
Floggo.
getting Floggo was kind of the cherry on top for them to basically swing the momentum. Because had they not taken him, it would still would have been like what, a 3-on-4, and so there still would have been kind of a chance, for them to maybe get something to happen. Because again, Yakuza knows how to kind of come out of those situations in hand and make a play happen. But
Yep.
once they got into that 4v2, I mean that's
Yeah, it was
just a
impossible at that point. Yeah, unfortunately, like if it didn't, maybe different if Tiga had taken Floggo's place and had a sniper on sniper fight. But I don't know if Floggo had, but he wasn't gonna win a fight against the Saber at that point too. Especially the smoke and the way it was. It's so difficult to read that at that point too.
No, absolutely, absolutely. But sides have switched. Global Breakout now on the defense. Yakuza on the attack. 5-4 in Yakuza's favor here on the third set of the finals for the third round of the Winter Open. There we go. That's the whole. That's the whole title for you.
That's a mouthful.
Oh, it's just a bit. And okay, I want to point out they're gonna. So I love this. They're gonna
Yeah, he's pointing
go.
out the same exact thing they did because
Yeah,
that
he
was
was
the
like,
issue.
okay, we go through red, we get the doors open, and then we just
Yeah,
every
he's pointing
window
out the
is
same
safe.
exact thing. It was just the
Yeah,
windows because the windows come up every single rotation too. So
yeah, absolutely.
if anybody's isolated or anybody's roaming, you could easily just cut them off.
Yeah, no, that's I just as soon as we spawn, I think as soon as he spawned in, he was like, "This is the plan." He was just pure commitment to it, and I really, that's it's good.
I guess
That's
now it's gonna be interesting to see because
how does
obviously
Global Breakout handle it?
Global Breakout did the same thing. So I'm assuming they know how to. Well, maybe not how to, but they're gonna try
Mm.
and stop it.
It could work. We'll see. We'll see.
Because that's the thing. See, because if you could, because that's you already saw how powerful it was on their attack.
Right, right.
I'm assuming they're gonna try some way somehow to be like either A, it takes too long to get to that position to be in courtyard, or B, they don't get to it at all.
Well, it looks like it's gonna be a 3-2 split, and I think that that's the best way because then they can kind of just clear out this eastern section of the map, which is the right call. I mean, they need to clear out receptions. So that kind of forces them into where all these windows are hiding, and then obviously you don't want to be sitting bomb. This little room here is just an absolute nightmare to try and defend. So that means you have to sit kitchen, backstage, or hall. Either way, it's not a pretty spot to defend.
Hey, will this be as dominating as Global Breakout's round? It's gonna be interesting to
That's
see.
that's the big question.
So the big thing here is the fact that if they walk in here, there's a cross. There's
Yeah.
a big cross right here. They gotta either throw a grenade or throw a smoke or throw a flash to stop these guys from playing these positions. And then of course the reception play is big here. Ku and Tommy are already in. They can kill Pleb easy and sandwich the rest of the two defenders and get those kills. That's almost that could be game over at that point. But Ku goes down to Pleb. Great shots. Pleb actually gets away alive too. That is huge for Global Breakout. And now at that point that reception push doesn't happen. The Molotov stops them pushing into the club. Now at this point the defense can recuperate and the Ghetto Floggo walk in. Floggo takes down.
Oh
Ghetto isn't able to get the refrag. He's gonna put two people up behind the bar. He's gonna go away. Renegade's taken down by Tommy. Taken out of the way. Pleb walks out towards the red door. Interesting enough, trying to go chase for that kill. And Argo now is pushed off, but really that is a bloodbath for Yakuza, and that's puts him down, man.
They got in, and then I don't think that they knew what to do. They got in, and you saw one looked right, one looked left. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. And then they paused, and they're like,
Well,
okay,
nobody peeked for a second too. They waited for a
yeah,
second,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
they
They
started
just
peeking.
waited. They're like, okay, where is everybody? And then it was like the entire club turned into just a bullet hell of just 1, 2, 3, 4.
Argo, great. Oh, Eric tried to play off that. That was actually almost good enough.
I liked it, but it's close. I mean, we can tell that it's close, but they're probably assuming that their opposition
Dude,
is.
Ghetto still has a grenade too, actually.
It's doable. It's very doable, but they don't
Yeah,
know where these
if he
guys
can
are.
grenade one of these players and then push off and kill the last one, this could be a good
Yeah,
win, but
they
again,
definitely need to play for this push. They absolutely need to
yeah, they
play
need
for
to
this
play
push. They
push. There's only
lost
20
all the
seconds,
time.
and looks like, oh, they can use the grenade on the barbed wire instead,
They know
probably
where
because of the
one is.
pre-fires. Yeah, they don't want it, so they can
Oh
pre-fire
my
that, but
god, you know where both
oh,
are now.
man,
That's huge.
pre-fire back and forth. Ball
Molotov.
2. There's no time. There is no time.
Yeah, they're gonna. Yeah,
Just
Ghetto is just
I would
getting out of
yeah,
dodge,
just
and
leave at that point. Tommy's gonna go for the
Tommy
kill, so
going
he starts.
huge. Oh my god, Tommy trying to chase. He does find. He does get X. He gets it.
Oh,
He's gonna start the defuse.
he's no
There's not
time.
enough time.
Oh, he gets the
He
economic
doesn't. No,
damage
he
was
doesn't
good
need to.
at least. Yeah.
That was great because that burned all of their utility. Anything that they had left. It's still a loss, but again, now we're gonna see the economy management from Global Breakout. That was as good of a loss as they could have gotten.
But that's the thing though. That was such a dominating round from the side of Global Breakout on their attack. That is such a stark difference going on to Yakuza's attack so far. So that's kind of crazy. But again, they kind of walked into what Global Breakout were expecting. They
Yeah, I
walked
think
into the exact
that's
setup.
why though. Global Breakout
Yeah.
knew that they wanted to go for those windows because of how dominant those windows were, and they're like, okay, well, the best route for them to go is red door. Okay, let's just make it a nightmare, and they did, and they read them right. This is
Well,
close, and I like this.
yeah, it's all tied up now,
This is
dude.
getting
Global
good.
Breakout have tied it up at this point, but again, depends how they do it here. The defense last time for Yakuza was really just the fact that Tommy and Ghetto played these positions
Yep.
so damn well. And you can already see that they're already marking on the side of Global Breakout. They're already marking positions that they lost to last time.
The question though is, where are our Yakuza boys going to push from? We still have what the last map is going to be factory, so they could either go for MVGs here, or they could try and save them for the last round. We've only seen one red door get used, and I don't know if they secured Clacker. I was so focused on watching.
I don't think no, I don't think they did. I think they it's a
Okay,
red clicker.
okay, so they only have one.
Yep.
All
I
right,
assume
so
so. Maybe I'm wrong. I might be wrong actually. But I don't think they do.
well, because I saw Ghetto run out, and I would assume that at this level, these guys usually tend to leave the clackers outside. So I don't know if he grabbed it or not. But okay, so it is going to go. They're going to be doing the power play here and save and potentially just risking it all on factory. But again, I kind
There's
of like that.
one clacker on the wall, and Ghetto doesn't have a clacker in hand, so there's only one clacker
Okay, so they
left.
did drop clacker. Okay,
No, they drop clacker, so they only have one clacker available. So this could be a dangerous if they lose this map and then they go to the next map with no clacker in hand. That
correct.
that could be Global Breakout winning it right there.
But this is, I mean, this is where we're kind of trying to play. We're playing the wonderfully dangerous game of if, because
Well,
if they were able to
but I'm saying that's how vital this round is, though.
no, absolutely. Well, because if they're able to clear castle and secure castle,
Well, look,
then
yeah. So this is
everything
where
from
they need
up
their.
here is gonna be secured, and then it's just really a matter of dealing with pleb here
But yeah,
in.
but that's what we're here for is all the ifs, though. We're here to
Mm,
talk about the ifs. We're here to talk about all the ifs. So now the if is
let's
if they actually
see.
can clear pit, though, and we've seen how dangerous pit can be and why usually nobody goes pit.
Well, it doesn't. Oh, Collins and he tried to risk. He tried to throw a Molotov. I respect
Oh,
that.
dude, this is such a painful point. It's the crossfire.
They
That is.
traded.
They took it explicit. He's on castle, so they can take castle now. Colin's gonna go to castle and try to retake it or help him team out. Actually, no, he's running
He's
to a
got to hit the
jungle.
button. Yeah, he'd have to hit the button.
Oh yeah, there's no
Interesting
way.
flash,
Yeah, they have control of castle now. So
but
Argo
the
is in a weird
mop.
position, but that could be a position to play it out. But now,
Oh, that's big. Now the
oh, the
mop
power
is
goes out
useless.
too. Tika's got a great position with that
Mhm.
that saber and the night vision out there. And now, but the thing is, now it's just kind of dude. And
There's
now
no
you see some
flares.
vision.
There's no flares on this map. So, oh no,
Yeah.
there's no flares. So Global Breakout's playing completely in the dark.
And Argo's dead
And
too, so now it's just kind of on to them to back off and see if they can try to win these fights as they push forward.
I guarantee that all of the players have been called. Oh, hang on. Pleb actually got the read in the dark and actually dinged Taiga.
Oh,
Grenade doesn't do
they try
anything.
to grenade out that area, but
Yeah,
Render's already pushed off. So this is actually really big because he has a Molotov still in hand, and they haven't gotten the picks they needed to on the side of Yakuza. So it's still very possible for Global Breakout.
they're inching. Oh, he gets
Nice
cooked.
shot.
Good flash. They don't know where
Floggo
Render
pushing
is.
out. Render's about back up top, so now Floggo can't find him either. He's gonna
Holy
run up
cow,
there.
it's just
He's
Floggo, though.
chasing him down. It's Floggo now in a 1v2, and he loses it. And that's huge. They have no
Oh.
hard breaching for Factory. This is it. Or could be it.
No, this definitely can be it, because now guess what? They've got Mop and Saber for the last round.
No hard breaching. They gotta
No
walk
hard
in the doors you
breaching, so it's
expect.
gonna be a green.
And the big reason why you saw Global Breakout was that wall charge in the server farm.
Yep.
This is it. This could be it right
Oh,
here.
baby. Oh, baby.
And that was crazy because they had so many cards in their hand for that
Yeah,
round. They turned the lights off. They had castle control.
and Global
But again,
Breakout still
coming
grinded
down
them through it.
yeah, it's still coming down those critical gunfights.
Yeah.
Tiga not able to kill the person with the mop in the back of jungle. Huge. Not able to grenade render out of the top because he moved out of that position. They didn't know where he was exactly. Threw the grenade up there just to clear him out. And nobody pushed off the grenade either because they couldn't kill the sniper. And then that again, the issue is the utility being used and no push and no, real progress being made by Yakuza in the round.
Absolutely. And, hmm. I don't know. Sorry, there was so much going on between these teams and these players. I mean, the fact that Pleb was able to actually tag and then eventually, with the
Kill.
support from the rest of the team,
Yeah.
kill off Taiga. I
In the
mean, that's
darkness too.
in
They're
the
in the
dark,
dark.
in
And they're
the
in the dark
dark.
and they're still able to win these fight despite the
Yeah,
disadvantage.
the
And that
overwhelming odds in that round was, like you said, all the cards were in Yakuza's favor, and
like
they
at that point, they
still
may
lost.
have wanted to use that grenade onto Pleb at that point in the back of jungle instead of throwing it on top of jungle for that close fight. Because would
They
you
should
rather
have. They
deal
should
with
have. That would have been the right call because that would have
yeah,
cleared
would you rather
Mob.
take the close fight with someone with an AK or something like that? Or would you rather take the long range fight against the guy with the mop who's murdering your team?
Well, it's in the dark. I should be safe. And then you
It's
just hear
apparently
Raph
not.
maliciously loading his mop with evil intent. Like, there was no way. Let's
What'd
take a
you say?
look here. I wonder if, hmm, uh, do you think that they saved that though, Benny?
What?
Look
Safe
at
what?
how these guys are. Well, I'm getting a word here from again our 10 million IQ team. It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't look like the Global Breakout is actually aware that they didn't get the clacker.
The clacker. Well, it looks like they may play for it, but it doesn't really
Because
matter too
look,
much anyway.
Ender's still setting up like it's a red push.
Interesting. Well,
So
they have barbed wire towards green though, so
well, yeah,
they're gonna
no,
figure out
they're
sooner or
still
later.
set up like it's a potential
Yeah.
red. And hey, again, there's the smoke. You gotta play.
Yeah,
You gotta
it's
play
not
your
gonna matter
game.
either way because they're gonna figure it out sooner or later. They're pushing through green, especially with the smoke and everything. So even if they think that even though they're setting up for red, it's not gonna matter when it comes to the initial push. Like, they're still gonna push in a cargo, and you already
Oh,
see
they have
the
no
mop.
grenade.
Yeah, like this. There's no
Oh,
way they're
the
pushing this. Pleb's got a freaking
misery.
saber on them.
Good flash.
They've already done some damage.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit of damage, but Pleb is also kind of hurt. Right?
Look at this
This
box.
is
Look at
yeah,
this.
that's
There's no way. There's
disgusting.
literally no way you get through that door.
Oh
If they can
my,
make a
oh
play and
my.
kill the guy in server farm, which is explicit, and then maybe make a side push, maybe this could work out. But
Well,
again,
hang on, here
you're
comes Floggle.
walking.
Floggle's got an outside flash that I think he's about to Kobe his way in to get them in there. So there's
Oh,
the
they can
smoke
play
for
off of it.
protection.
But Collins pre-firing that doorway. How are you gonna get in?
Well, Floggle needs to throw his flash once the Molotov wears
Well,
off.
yeah, multiple wears off. So yeah, this is just again they're just walking
There
into
it
it. Oh,
goes.
Gator walks in. Explicit taking heavy shots. Did they get flashed or not? Hey, well, Colin kills Tommy through the wall. Again, that's the big thing is those pre-fires. They know where they're coming from. They have the angles down. Explicit taking out Tigo Man, but still at this point they have
Five
server
on
farm
the
control.
rotate.
They can push in, and Argo's
Floggle's
got
looking
a
for him.
heavy
It's still
angle right
4v4
towards
though.
that
We're
doorway.
not done just yet. Argo
So it's
with
Colin.
the yeah. Oh my god. That is again. It's just dirty angles.
Pleb's
Oh,
going for a
Coop, be
flank.
careful.
Pleb's
Okay,
gonna
we're good.
fight, take heavy shots though. It doesn't kill
Pleb's gonna
anybody,
back off. Floggle's
unfortunately.
gonna chase him. Yeah, Floggle wants
No,
him.
he can't chase him past it though. Oh, Cope's
No.
opened the door though.
Oh, how do you push into this? They've
You
got what?
don't. It's so
Well, I was
difficult.
gonna say they've got a smoke, and now they
No,
have a flash.
yeah. There's
Do
no
or
way.
die. Ghetto, the
I'm
last
telling you,
man
there's no way
alive.
you can win this round. There's so many angles for the snipers to hold. Aro
Oh,
gets
here
peeked
it
out.
goes.
He's dead. Telling you, it was literally that was literally not saying well probably impossible actually with what they had.
That no. After that loss on Kill Dome, that pretty much decided the outcome here
Yeah, I'm
for.
telling you, it was like having the mop and the saber. You don't have any hard breaching. You can't get through any red doors. You can't open your walls up. You're
You,
just you got to walk into literal doorways. You saw everybody on the side of Global Breakout was just pre-firing those doors. They had the lineups ready.
every angle, just mag
Every
dump it.
single angle was getting pre-fired by somebody with an Ingmar, with a saber, with a sniper, a mop. Just no way. It's no way.
But you know what that means, Benny?
What's up?
We got a winner. So congratulations to Global Breakout taking the first place, $300 to their name, and again, congratulations to Yakuza still going the distance, getting themselves to second place, 150 for their troubles. And it sounds like I'm getting word from our wonderful production staff that we do have some interviews underway. So hopefully we'll be able to get a few of the players here. But what a turn of events, man. That kill dome was absolutely insane. I mean, that was the
That was
deciding round.
literally that was a turning that was a
Yeah.
turning point for them. That was the if and where they had to make it happen,
Mhm.
and they unfortunately couldn't make it happen. Unfortunately, just like playing the back, they didn't grenade him out, couldn't win the fights despite the darkness.
Yep, 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 yep. I mean, it's well, they gambled. They gambled and they were confident they were gonna be able to make something happen. Sadly, it just didn't pay out. So now we're gonna go and I don't know who we're gonna be talking to, but hopefully we'll be
Explicit. All right, all right, all right.
listed. Ah, okay, okay. Excellent. Well, that works
Hmm.
out because I actually
Let's see. Yeah, let's pick his brain on how that worked out.
yeah, yeah, I know, right?
Hey, but then again, those are very close games though. 7-4, 7-4, 7-5. It's probably the closest you could ask for without going into something crazy.
Oh, no, absolutely. That was a lot of those literally came down to just one round differences where either team A or team B made like the slightest mistake, and then either Yakuza or Global Breakout just capitalized. They just capitalized and jumped and dived in on it as quickly and as, aggressively as they could. So it was
Yeah,
just well done.
that's 100% it. Well, let's see what Explicit has to say so far as we're
Yes.
waiting for him real quick. But yeah, I definitely want to ask like how they felt after losing that first game because they brought it back the second match. Then the third match though, dude, that third map though, especially the murder match, it was looking great for Yakuza. They were in the lead for most part of that map, for most part of that match, and then they just brought it back on the side of Global Breakout.
Yeah, no, there was that was a very it was almost like a the engine kinda just needed to get, like it was like a and then it just kind of kicked in and they just ran it. They just ran it after that, and I think that was how we saw they ran every single round. It was like there was a couple rounds that, well, I mean, besides the first 2, which were absolutely well, the first map was just a slugfest. I mean, that was just threes, threes,
Yep,
threes, and then
threes.
the second one had a bit more kind of tact to it is the word I'll use. And then we
It
kind of
kind of started out threes though, unfortunately.
it did.
Started out
It
threes, and then it
really
was like,
did though.
eh.
It really did, and then we finally got them into that last round. I was like, "Okay, this is getting kinda scrappy." These guys are just kind of trying to make some plays, trying to get something to happen. So, I mean, that was fantastic. I do believe, the Global Breakout guys are currently in the process of jumping up and down next to their monitors, so we're gonna be just needing a couple minutes here, but of
Oh, wait, no, he's
course,
here right now.
there
He's
he
in.
is. There's our boy.
Hey guys.
Hey,
Hey,
what's up?
congratulations.
Thank
Good
you.
game. Good
That
game. Yeah,
was
that was crazy.
GG's.
GG's to you and your boys, man. How does it feel to be the winner of that? How do you guys feel after that?
So how do you feel after
Ecstatic.
$300?
That was it. The money's nice, but like being able to play on that type of level with everyone, it's very humbling. So the money comes, but the hard work does pay off. So, but everyone is very happy and very pleased on all sides, I believe.
Excellent. How was I know we saw a lot of rounds where especially, the global breakout guys, you guys tended to have your full team was pushing, but then I believe Benny and I were actually kind of pointing to noticing that you were kind of off in your distance. What was the thought process behind having, your full team go one direction, then you're like, "Yeah, I got this other side." Were you just kind of watching for the rotate or was there another, reason for it?
Yeah, no. So Flogel, they're known to we always have a flank watch is what I'm getting at. So we always intend for someone to flank, especially when they know the defense team that a good portion of the majority of the attackers are pushing, one side of kill house.
Hmm.
They're going to try and do something sneaky.
Mm,
I don't think their flank watch was as good. This past couple games, Pleb had made some really good plays off of his flanks. So that's just having flank watch is very important to us. It saves the attack, and if I need to rotate, I rotate.
mm.
Yeah, it was interesting. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, because there are times when,
Correct.
like you said, that there were flanks from them. Sometimes where you had that flank watch, but nothing really came of it because nobody really did anything on the side of Yakuza at a certain time. So it was interesting to see when it did work and didn't work.
Yeah.
And
Well,
yeah, it's just timing.
absolutely. And what was I guess, through the whole thing of the series, what was kind of one point where you were looking back at the Global Breakup Boys and you're like, all right, we got this. What was, that one, was there like a moment for that or was it you guys were just kind of on that grind through and throughout?
We knew we had it from the get go. The first game didn't go our way. We were still warming up. We have a different IGL currently, but it was when we started realizing our hypeness when we started winning some really good defense rounds, and that's what we were lacking at. And some of our own opinions that our defense rounds, Yakuza was winning too many offense rounds, and we're known for being a very defense heavy type of team. So just us trying to realize that we all individually had to step up, and when people were making such like Colin had a 4K there at the end, like it was just these crazy instances where we were able to play off each other, and then just us realizing we needed to start winning defense.
True, true. Yeah, I definitely agree with that one. It was interesting because yeah, I think the second match you guys really brought it back. You guys were in it, and then but a third match though, third match for you guys. Was there any real turning point there? Because it seemed like there was a point where Yakuza were really bringing that third match in their favor.
Honestly, man, it was a tough grind. It was. I think the last half of that last game is when we really dug deep because we even said it in our own
Mhm.
internal columns. It was like, yo, this is it. We got it. And at the back of our mind, we weren't worried. We always say, yo, we're just chilling, you know. So,
Hey.
it's just it was that second half we really knew. We kind of actually figured out how Yakuza was playing, and the way they were blowing, doing the breaches. We kind of knew. Um, how they were focusing their attack, so we were
Mhm.
adjusting all constantly. But honestly, Yakuza they had some really well executed attacks to where us having to rotate a little differently caught us off guard, and we were getting picked off. So yeah, no, it was definitely the second half to where we just knew that we had to put it in a different gear. We started focusing and center focusing on what they were doing and how we could just we were just guess we just knew where they were coming from, I guess, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah. So you got to the point where you're trying to counter strat and figure things out.
Yeah.
Correct.
You'll really figure out and dig deep on how they're doing it and focus on that, which we saw at the end there. Like the fact that especially on that, that kill house at the end of the second half there, where you figured out you knew they're going to go for those windows like you saw on on your
Yes.
attack. Exactly.
Mhm.
And you played
Yes.
it perfectly knowing that they're going to push that red door. They're going to push right for the windows. So let's play for that club. Let's make sure we can make it, a bloodbath.
Correct. And then like pleb, we got to keep everyone on their feet. So us getting these first initial picks, like not thinking that pleb's going, it's just like keeping you guys on your toes. So
Mhm.
um, just getting that first initial pick on that kill house was great because now it makes the other team just have to rethink everything. But yeah, we know courtyard on that map is very strong, and not to give them, we just didn't want to give them too much ground to it.
No, absolutely, it makes sense. And then I know during I think it was either the second map, I think when you guys were pushing into that castle, how Argo just kind of went absolutely cowabunga in with that auto shot and was able to get in, and you guys just kind of were able to kind of capitalize and continue to kind of push in. How did the attacks feel against going in against Yakuza? I mean, I know. I think Benny and I were discussing earlier that Global Breakout is kind of known for just being able to put in and just grind out matches where they didn't. But how were you guys feeling the attack, or I guess the defensive side for them?
So Yakuza's very smart. They are a very smart team. The person in charge over there, I think it's Flogel. Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, Flogel, but they optimize their long angles, and we know that they love their wall bangs. Like they put like they are so good with their wall bangs. So they're once we started noticing, because we called out that wall bang from pit to castle on that map. Argo ran in with auto, and we flooded castle. We knew castle
Hmm.
was castle's important there. But it's just more of like the whole thing with our attacks and prepping for Yakuza's defense. It was more of just trying to play slow. Every time we played fast, we got destroyed, decimated. Just
Yeah.
we couldn't really we weren't playing at our pace. So
Hmm.
Yakuza punished us for that. So when it came to our attacks, we were just mainly focusing on having a good initial set plan, follow the plan, and then play at our pace, play a little bit slower. Because they play smart, they play more defensive. They're not going to be as aggressive, um, depending on the situation. So yeah,
Yeah.
we just had to slow it down, and that's when we started realizing we were winning our attacks.
Hmm.
Mm.
Speaking of the slowing down the plays, there was actually a couple points where we actually saw that Global Breakout would get into a situation. I think it was specifically on Bank when you guys were trying to push into. I think it was accounting specifically, where you guys got into this kind of position, and then we were actually talking about how there's a very keen difference between stalling and kind of prepping. and it just seemed like you guys almost had this challenge of, all right, next step. Let's move in. Let's get these flashes. Let's get things going. Was that at ever any point, was that something that you guys recognized, or was that something where it was just like, okay, you actually chose to kind of slow it down, and then at that point there was just an issue with time?
Yeah, based on our util, how the first initial minute of the round goes,
Hmm.
if we are on top, that's when we tell ourselves mid round slow it down, and then everyone regathers. Everyone takes that second or 2 seconds to regather. So we started focusing and emphasizing that is play hard, get the first couple initial picks, and then from there continue to just slow it down, play our pace, and then once you once you're able to mentally slow down, that's when people start calculating, whose util is take priority. So
Hmm.
there's a lot of inner stuff going in, a lot of comms flowing through, and yeah, it was just that like keeping that mentality, and that was part of like it wasn't just me telling the team to slow it down, but it was everyone's like played a good part, and it's just like
Hmm.
recentering our focus. But
Okay, very nice, very nice.
Hmm.
Benny, any other questions?
No, I'm good here.
All right, excellent. Well, again, X, congratulations and appreciate your time. Please give our congrats to the Global Breakout boys, because you guys really did. You guys dug deep. We saw it in the first round or the first set, when you guys, there was a bit of kind of concerns, I think, on that last match, on, I believe it was Kill House, where there's an issue with the timing and everything. Then you guys just
mhm.
kind of started to bring it back and just really put on your hard hats, and you got in that work. So congratulations and well done.
Hey, GG's to everyone we played in this tournament, and thanks for everyone for watching. It was a great match all together.
Excellent. Thanks again, and see you on the grind.
Yep. See you guys.
Later, man. All right, excellent. Benny, do you want to close it out, and then we'll kind of wrap it up?
That'll be it. Yeah, that's it from us here at Due Process League. But that was still a fun time, a fun couple weekends to see this tournament out and see who wins it out. And I'm definitely interested to see what other teams can give us that same level of competition.
Absolutely. Excellent. Well, again, one more thing and one major big announcement from our side, again, from the official Due Process League of the community. Be aware and heads up to all of the new teams, old teams, and the winners of today's tournament. There is going to be a major in the late January that we have been asked to talk about. So definitely mark it off in your calendars. It's a new year, it's a new time for tournaments, as well as a lot of great matches here on the Due Process channel. So again, my name is Ghost, and I have been co-casting here with Benny. Having a great time. And again, thank you to everyone that was here for today's stream. Hope you guys have a good day, good afternoon, and good night. We'll see you all very soon. Thank you, and talk to you soon. Bye bye.